People said they were like Eric McLaughlin mortgage popped up whenever I was driving over here. But yeah, I don't even know why I have that on Google because I never get any business from Google Pages. But I thought that maybe I would. But
do you advertise on Google?
No, I don't do anything like that. It just never seemed like it'd be worth it. I feel like the best leads that I get for my job have always just been like people I've met face to face.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm just going to lean into that, I think. And that's kind of why I do this also.
Yeah.
It's because it's fun to do this. So, but that's cool. That it's one of the more professional ones.
This is a great setup.
Yeah. We're live right now. It's happening.
When I rang your Ring doorbell, it gave me flashbacks for like 2 weeks. I did solar sales, and it was 2 of the worst weeks of my life. I didn't sell a single solar panel. And then I was just sunburnt for 2 weeks. Everybody was like, why are you so red? And I'm like, I was just out in the sun for 2 weeks, didn't sell anything. And then I quit and I gave up on it.
You got to get a nice hat for that.
I've been thinking about different hats to get. I kind of want to get one of those rice farmer hats. You ever see those? I'm not a cowboy hat guy.
I got one I golf with.
A rice farmer hat?
It's, well, I wouldn't call it rice farmer.
Okay.
I would call it, you ever seen those? Actually, no, it's in the car. Fuck.
Okay.
It's like a full round one, but it's made of like a fucking hay or whatever, like the basket weaving shit that you'll see.
Okay.
It's like one of those, but it's pretty good to golf with that, so you don't get burned. I was at a pool all day on Memorial Day. I didn't get burned at all. Had that thing on the whole time. Yeah.
I'm like, I eat super healthy, and now they're like, if you don't eat seed oils, you don't get sunburned. And I eat as healthy as possible, and I still get very sunburned.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's my life.
No seed oils, you don't get burned?
Yeah. There's a whole online, I follow all of like the health online influencers, and they're like, if you just eat beef, tallow, and eggs, you're not going to get sunburned. And I get sunburned every day.
That's so dumb. Mm-hmm. Isn't it dumb that we get burned in the first place? I feel like it's poor design of the human body.
Well, we're from Europe where it was just cloudy for a few thousand years. Other people don't get burned. It's just white people.
I know.
The other people, they don't actually get burned.
It's such a shitty thing. Because we love the sun. We like being like, there's something about us that wants to be in the sun. But after 10 minutes, I'm just a fucking vampire.
It might be like we might be sick. We might be like maybe
something wrong with us.
Yeah, that's one of the things where you're like, oh, maybe we were fucked up.
You know what's interesting? If there were no white people on Earth and it was just black people, and then they made a movie like, okay, there's a vampire, and if he's in the sun, he burns red or he twinkles. They would actually have a hard time figuring out which one is real and which one is fake. You know what I mean?
There's something wrong with us.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to happen to us. But Twilight.
Yo, you big Twilight. I've been reading a lot of. I reread the Hunger Games. I love the Hunger Games books.
Dude, I watched the movies for the first time a couple months back, and actually I was pretty impressed. I was like, this is actually pretty good.
Apparently, the author of them worked for Disney and was like deep in the conspiracy game, and then wrote them because it was a realistic idea of what she thought might happen to the world. I don't know if that's completely true. But
I could see it. I thought it was pretty realistic. I mean, I could see something like that going down for sure.
A little extreme, but we're headed toward a weird dystopian world.
Yeah. Ancient Rome, they were kind of already edging on a Hunger Games situation.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll bring some of that stuff back. We have have you seen the enhanced games are coming?
I think we already have, dude. Dude, UFC is pretty wild.
Fucking brutal.
UFC is nuts.
Yeah.
I watch UFC and all my friends are. I'm not really that into it, but I'm like, damn. If outside looking in, you'd be like, this is crazy what they're doing to each other.
No, it's brutal. People die.
Yeah, people die. That one guy that got hit in the back of the head and he's like retarded now.
That happened to a guy?
That happened to a guy. He got hit in the back of the head and now he's like completely unable to do anything. He's just gone. But he's like, I love UFC. Like I won that fight. But but he's just can never do anything.
True ride or die.
Yeah.
True ride or die committed to the game.
And I guess, it's consensual, so fuck it. But
no, we gotta love it. It's too much fun.
So
I have fun with it. It's fun to watch.
I get it, dude. When I saw Anderson Silva's leg like fucking snap in half,
love it.
10 years ago,
I'm amped up.
I was like, that's television right there.
That's good.
He knew the risks.
He did.
Yeah. And then football too with concussions.
Yeah. I wonder if we're going to figure out a way to like solve it or if we just accept, people it's bad things are going to happen. We just got to let it rip.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, you can't cushion everything. People are going to get fucking hurt if you're going to do stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's like, what are we doing here? I believe so here. I'm like religious, so I'm like, maybe life isn't that
Are you
important.
really?
I'm super religious.
Are you really?
I'm hardcore religious.
You do not portray that in your general
vibe and aura.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I think God's cool. Some people don't think God is cool. I'm religious.
Cool.
I think God is cool. Why would God not be cool?
Are you a camp counselor?
No.
Now I'm seeing that energy.
You see camp counselor vibe?
Hey guys, God is cool.
No,
know?
but I'm like, God's like I'm cool, I'm Christian, but also like wherever Christianity and Buddhism intersect, that's where I am.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. God does a lot of
Wherever
that.
they intersect.
You gotta think if God created everything, God loves gay porn and God loves
True.
weird sexual shit. A lot of life is weird sex shit. So that means God
agree.
is into that.
God is probably deep
Yeah.
into that stuff.
So I'm like, if reincarnation is real, then like one life, not that important. Fucking fight a guy.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Like kind of a little, maybe.
What do you think's gonna happen to you?
I don't really know.
You don't know.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I know that I think there's
I'm not worried about it.
I'm truly not worried. I'm like, it'll be
I'm not worried at all.
I think things will be good. I think you die and then more stuff happens. I don't think life ever ends. That's my theory. I think it just goes on forever and then God's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it would be weird to die and then you just wake up, coming out of a praying mantis. That would be pretty wild.
But that might happen. You might have a few lifetimes. Maybe insects have souls.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a guy.
See, I don't believe in the whole... So do you believe that dogs have souls?
Some of them.
What an answer.
Some of them you look in their eyes and you go, you have a soul. And then other ones you go, you do not have a soul.
You got to make the same thing with a human being.
No, all humans have
All
souls.
humans have souls? Mm-hmm. What's the line? Does a horse have a soul?
Some. Certain ones. Certain animals have souls.
Okay, we're talking about this for 3 hours.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so bugs, you're saying some of them may not?
Bugs are a hive mind.
Dang.
Collective souls.
Collective.
One soul for maybe a whole hive of bees is one soul.
So it's like the ring of Sauron, like one soul to rule them all?
Yeah. But it's
Wow.
So one fly dies and then the consciousness goes back to the whole fly consciousness.
Yeah.
So they exist as, it's like maybe one lifetime, you're like 1,000 flies.
Dude, what a crazy... Okay, hold on. I got to do more.
Yeah.
A gerbil?
Some, yeah.
Some?
I think some of the, you can look in their eyes. Like your dog has a soul. You have a good dog.
Yeah, my dog has a soul for sure.
But some other dogs you look at and you go, you're dead. You're dead in there. There's nothing in there. And that's why people in maybe it's like other countries, their dogs don't have souls.
Oh,
when that's why they eat them, because you look at it.
That is so fun. There was this, I forgot the name of the comic. I saw him do this joke once. I'm going to burn his joke, but he did this thing where he goes, would you eat an animal if it spoke like a language, if it was talking?
No.
No?
No.
And then his joke is only if it wasn't English.
That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. But I couldn't, if an animal was talking now, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat another human.
Would you eat a monkey?
Yeah, for sure.
Chimpanzee?
Yeah. If I was in the jungle and I was with a tribe, because they if you go down to certain places in South America and Africa, they eat monkeys.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no if everybody else is eating monkey.
They eat some monkey brain, I think, in Mexico.
I would do that.
Yeah, you would do that? You
Yep.
can get a prion or some kind of thing.
I'm not worried about it.
Some kind of
I'm not worried about it.
bigger things going on.
If everybody else is doing it, I'm going to go
Yeah,
with the
dude.
monkey.
Might get reincarnated. I'm going to eat a monkey brain.
Exactly. You got to take some chances.
Yeah. I guess I would eat a monkey brain. That would be intimidating, though. God, it'd be scary.
It's probably good.
It's probably good. I don't think I'm a picky eater until I see people put grasshoppers on a stick or something.
I'd do that for sure.
Would you really?
I'm a big fan of bugs.
Really?
All around bug guy.
Yeah. I could tell. Hive mind. You had a quick answer for that.
I've thought about it.
You thought about
I've
this.
thought about that.
Yeah.
Do bugs have souls? And I go, maybe bugs are a hive mind.
Yeah.
They have a collective soul.
That's interesting.
One mosquito doesn't have a soul. I'm not worried about killing a mosquito. Wiping out all mosquitoes, that's evil.
That'd be pretty. You think it's bad?
Yeah, I
Because
think
that's one soul.
I heard a guy who went and he did exactly with one soul, the mosquito soul.
You killed the soul of mosquitoes.
Yeah, it's bad. I've heard a guy, he went and did ayahuasca, and then he came back and he went, mosquitoes are the taxes of nature, where they take a little bit from all of the big creatures and redistribute it to the smaller creatures.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, frogs eat mosquitoes, which leech off big mammals. So they're just the tax man.
Yeah. That's a great...
That's ayahuasca for you.
Yeah, dude.
That was Aubrey Marcus who said that. He's crazy. But he's...
What an insight from the rip.
Yeah.
The tax man. That kind of makes it... That makes them feel a little bit more worth being around, you know?
I think, I don't get mad at mosquitoes. I'll kill them because you have to hate the tax man.
Yeah.
But they're going to get you.
Oh, what a great rationalization. I love that. Oh, man. That's fantastic. The tax man. How do you, what about bacteria?
I think
Hive mind? Hive soul?
go hive mind.
Hive soul again?
Yeah. Because like there's something there. There's something. Or sometimes I think about what if you know how in the Bible they describe like demons? I'm like, I think they were just talking about germs.
Oh.
Invisible beings that make you sick.
Yeah.
Holy water. Like I've tried to put that in my act. I don't know how to do it, but
I was trying to do a bit about that too. Not necessarily that angle, but I was trying to do like the first time that we were trying to explain to the masses what bacteria was. It's like you're not just sick because you're shitty. It's like a bug. It's like an animal.
It's a mini being.
It's like a giraffe in your body.
That's
it's like that, and it's mad. It's
and it's a parasite.
Yeah, I can't. It's not quite funny yet, but I wanted to do like
It
how.
is interesting.
It's just like how do you explain that to someone with no concept of what a bacteria is?
Jesus tried to do it.
Yeah,
He tried.
yeah. He was like, I know what it is. It's a demon. Just fucking.
Yep. It's like floating in the air, but sometimes it's not in the air. Sometimes it's in you. Sometimes somebody else gives it to you.
And if you want to avoid it, wipe your ass
Exactly.
and don't eat
Wash
shellfish.
your hands.
Yeah.
Put holy water. Wash your hands.
That's good. That is funny. That's interesting. Yeah, I wanted to do something with that and actually make it humorous, but I don't know.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
It's the hard part.
It is the hard part.
Are you a God guy at all? Do you believe in?
No, I've never been a God guy. I was raised Catholic.
Okay, as was I.
But I'm not. I don't go to church. I don't even think about God. As close as I get to God is whenever something really good happens to me, and I'm like, maybe. You know?
That's nice.
You know what I mean? I'm like, thank God this happened. Like something better than me made this.
Okay.
But if something bad happens, I don't really blame God. I just kind of go, why the fuck did I do that? Or like, how did I get myself in this situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Were you raised like a strict Catholic?
No, my mom's Brazilian. So she they have like a dual Catholic with like a spirituality thing going on. Because there's a lot of African voodoo influence in that culture.
That's the kind of Catholicism I practice.
Oh, yeah?
I also raised Catholic, but like voodoo Catholic.
Yeah, they do a little bit of weird voodoo shit with their Catholicism. And
Did you have any weird rituals that you did growing up?
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Big one was lighting candles.
Okay.
My mom would be like, we're lighting a candle tonight. And me and my sister would freak out. Like, oh, no.
It's candle night. No.
She's like, no, because anytime it's candle night, somebody's seeing a ghost.
Oh.
Somebody's going to be, because we'd all be like, we're lighting a candle for my aunt Silva, who died 2 years ago from something. And we're all be like, all right, we say the little prayer. And then that night, my mom would come back, I saw her in the bed overnight. You know what I mean?
Did you believe her?
I mean, I'm not going to shit on my mom. I mean,
But you don't have to believe her.
I didn't know. I think you see what you want to see. It's
Okay,
kind of
got
what
it.
I believe.
Yeah.
But sometimes my sister would see something.
Got it. And you
And I
believed
was
your
like,
sister.
Ooh, yeah, I believe my sister a little more. But sometimes I'm also like, get out of here with that.
Yeah.
But I've never saw anything. Never
Okay.
saw a ghost.
No spirits.
Never saw a spirit. Never felt any sort of spiritual anything in my life. So I'm just sort of been away
Okay.
from it, you know?
Yeah.
But my mom still to this day, every now and then we go over there and she's like, we're going to do a candle. She has like these weird rituals. This is a weird story. One day we were eating dinner and she just got up and started yelling, Inshu! And she ran out, screaming Inshu. It's in Portuguese for...
What does it mean?
It means imp or like a demon.
Oh.
And she was like, I swear to God, I felt it. It was in the room. I heard it. And I was like, what the fuck?
Is mom going crazy, or is there a demon in the room?
Is she schizophrenic? What's happening? But apparently she just felt it one day. It was like, all right, I guess, I don't know. But she ran and got sage and did a whole thing. We didn't die, so I guess, she was right. But
Yeah, maybe she saved your life right there from a demon.
I don't know. A lot of weird things. She has some crazy stories, too, where we're like, is that a thing? What the fuck is that? I'll tell you another one. This one is really weird. One day she woke up. She was in Brazil, like in like a favela.
Okay.
And someone left beans on her windowsill.
I thought a favela was a type of bean.
Oh, really?
I don't know what that is. Favela is like,
You ever play Call of Duty?
Yes.
So remember the map of like the slums of Brazil?
Yes.
Where it's just like on top of a mountain?
Got it.
Those are called the favelas. She lived in those, and someone left like beans on her windowsill.
Yeah.
And they went to the village priest, shaman lady, and she was like, someone's cursing your daughter.
Oh.
You got to do something. And they're like, well, what do we do? And you have to drive across town and wash her hair in a well across town.
I love this.
I know. And then when you go home tonight, put an orange on the windowsill.
Counteract the beans. Orange defeats beans.
And then they went back, sat down, and then the next morning the orange was gone, and they never heard about anything about beans again.
Whoa. It works.
I guess it works. But it's just like, what?
What are we doing here?
What is this? Yeah.
I'm deep into that world. I love that stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What have you run into with that?
I think about God all the time, constantly.
Wow.
It's like a dripping water faucet on my head, where I
Damn.
just think about the existential.
You got
all
an
the time.
IV of God.
All the time. I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And then I went and I did ayahuasca, and like I've done a bunch of psychedelics, and it made me go crazy for a while because I saw too much, and then I'm now back to reality.
Did
just
it make
believing.
you more of a God-fearing man or less?
It made me literally for like a few months I went schizophrenic, and then I came back, and then I'm like, oh, now I just believe in God regular. But I believed in God too much for a while.
You got into it.
I got way too into it, and I was an insane person where like I thought I could see into the spirit world for like a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like deep in like psychosis, and then I came out of it, but it was like.
But do you recommend ayahuasca? Or do you
No,
not?
to no one. I don't think anybody should do it.
Really?
Yep. I
Wow.
don't think it's good for you. I think it's I don't recommend anybody do
interesting.
ayahuasca.
Well, why'd you do it?
Because it was like I was depressed. I was in college. I didn't know what to do with my life. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go do ayahuasca in Costa Rica. And it was like awesome while I was there. It was
Well,
like
it sounds
really
like you were in a
good.
great place.
I wasn't until I was doing the ayahuasca, and then I was like, this is amazing. This is beautiful. I love life. I love God. And then I came back, and like then you're faced with regular reality.
And people
I
are like, chill, dude, chill.
I couldn't mix the ayahuasca world with the regular world, and then I like spun out for a little bit, and then I was like, nothing is real. Everything's fake. Complete nihilism. And then I found a nice balance in between.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you got out of there.
Yeah. I don't
That's
think anybody
good.
should do. People are always like, oh, you got to do psychedelics and stuff. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I think it's because all of the tech people now who run all of these big tech companies go do ayahuasca.
I've heard,
and
yeah.
then they come back and are evil.
Really?
Like, think of the people running the tech companies aren't helping the world right now.
Right.
They're really selfish, and they're making bad decisions.
Wow.
So I'm a spirit world believer. So I think ayahuasca opens you up to all of that.
Yeah.
And then there's like a bunch of negative stuff with ayahuasca. Like
what do
a
you
lot
think
of
they saw on their trip that made them do that?
I think it's like negative. I think it's like demons. I think it's like
Really?
or like selfishness. Like it activates. Like some people say it like psychedelics give you ego death.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes it gives you ego inflation where you think you're like, I'm a better person.
Those two are very similar.
Yes, they feel very similar.
They feel similar.
So that's why there's like the stereotype of people who come back from doing ayahuasca and they're like, well, I know a few things. I'm enlightened.
Yeah.
And it's like that is the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's
like,
interesting.
nobody should just meditate. If you want to become a better person, just meditate and like go to the gym. Don't go do ayahuasca. Like Maybe if you're like if you've spent years meditating and you're like working on yourself, sure, go do ayahuasca. But if you're like, I want to be a better person, I'm going to go do ayahuasca, it will make you probably a worse person. I think iboga is good. And I think like...
I don't know what iboga is.
That's like one for addiction. It's like a really bad... It's like you take it and then you... I can't describe it well, but it's a very intense psychedelic that helps with PTSD and addiction. I think that one's helpful. I think mushrooms can be helpful.
Yeah,
because it like rewires your brain.
Now. Yeah.
But ayahuasca's I don't trust it.
What about acid?
Good and bad. It's what it's used for. Because it like made like. Do you know who Ram Dass is?
No.
Do you know who Timothy Leary is?
Yes.
So Timothy Leary and Ram Dass were both, before Ram Dass was Ram Dass, he was Richard Alpert in the 70s. They took acid at Harvard, and then they started doing studies at acid at Harvard. Timothy Leary stayed in academia. Richard Alpert went to India, became Ram Dass, studied with a guru, brought it back, started these awesome schools here, started doing lectures, stopped doing acid, and then just taught love and compassion and being in the present and like had a really positive impact on the world.
Yeah.
Timothy Leary started the tune in, drop out movement, made a bunch of people become uneducated, and was a really bad father to his kids.
And this was
an
the
alcoholic.
non-acid guy.
No, they both did acid.
But this guy was
Did
a
it for
non-India
evil.
guy.
Yeah. He did acid, and it made him arguably really harm the world, because the tune-in drop-out movement, it's like, no, if you're here, go to school. Like, school's good. why are you telling an entire generation of people they should be uneducated?
Right.
And then Ram Dass was like, no, meditate, pray, read books, help other people. Timothy Leary was like, fucking just get inside your mind. And like he had some good thoughts on things, apparently. I'm not a fan of his perspective, though.
That's interesting. I never heard of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guy that went to India. Usually I've heard a lot of like the what do you call them? A lot of cult leaders are out of India.
Yes. But that's the danger with like all spirituality, is that some people go
Too
take
deep.
it, and then some people use it for evil. Like, do you know the Bikram yoga thing?
Yeah.
Where he started like having sex with the students and then created a business out of it.
Yeah.
And then it turns where like the yoga that he does is really cool. It's like a great practice, but then he uses it for evil. Yes.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm. You got to use your powers for good.
Yeah. It's weird, though, getting into that place. Like, the big one was, like you said, the ego death. You could very well turn that into an ego birth or an ego takeover. Mm-hmm. That is true. And you're so convinced that, no, I'm just enlightened now.
Yep. Those are the worst people.
Dang,
I was one of those people for a little while, and it sucked.
Yeah.
I
Because you're
look
walking
back-
around like, no, I've seen.
I know.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about it.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to tell you about stuff, fuck you. Get out of my house.
That's interesting. That's interesting. What made you kind of click back to be like, I get it.
Just years of confusion, I guess. Years of being like, I guess I'm wrong. Because like, I came back and I'm like, oh, I think I know something.
Yeah.
And then I tried to put it into action and nothing worked.
Nothing was getting
And
traction.
people weren't like, instead of people like being like, oh yeah, I'm connected with you, people were like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I guess I don't know shit. I was actually wrong. I need to be humble.
Oh, that's good. At least you recognized it. You didn't just power through.
No, that's what happens to some people.
That's
when
what
you see
happens to
them.
some people. You see them on Kill Tony too.
Yeah, a lot of crazies.
There are people out there where they're like, no, I'm right. Even in the face of it's almost impressive.
It is.
It's kind of like, dang, if you were just a little better at what you're doing,
Yeah.
you actually would be really successful.
Yeah.
But you're so convinced about your badness. Yeah.
It's somebody else's fault. It's
Yeah.
like there's another reason. It's not. Yeah, people just don't like taking responsibility for stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy.
It is easy to shove it off and be like, oh, it's not me, it's you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
It's like people just don't get it. People don't fucking understand me. Nobody understands me. It's like, no, you're wrong.
you're
You
just
suck.
wrong.
Yeah.
You just kind of suck, dude. Dang. You're zinning.
These are knickknacks, nicotine mints.
Oh, really?
Yes. You want one? Are you a nicotine fan?
Nah, I try to stay away, to be honest. I do smoke when I'm drunk, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love these bad boys.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. You smoke? You don't smoke anymore?
I don't. I am on and off quitting. I haven't had a cigarette in like a month.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. I don't drink anymore, so I don't do any. I'm all sober fella now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit of nicotine, that's...
Nicotine and caffeine, I rip.
Oh,
I have
really?
like 6 coffees a day.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot.
I'm clean and sober. I have 18 coffees every
I do. It's good for you, I think.
I think I've heard something about coffee that in doses, it improves your mental ability. Like it makes you quicker, makes you faster. It actually will prevent Alzheimer's.
Yep.
But if you take too much, it will increase your chances of the other one, not Alzheimer's, Parkinson's.
Oh.
Where you like lose your sensation.
There's a few studies that came out. They reduce 4 cups of coffee, they say, is the optimum dose
That's
for
what I
health
saw.
benefits.
I think that's
I
the
read
one I
that
saw.
study. Yep. So I'm like, that's 4. I'm a big guy, so that's 6 cups of coffee for me.
I'm a big dude, so it's 18.
Yeah, I could just. It makes me feel good. Just
Yeah.
coffee and nicotine all day. I love it, and I love the supplements and nootropics and all those things. Love to try a different chemical that's made in the lab for people to be smarter.
That's interesting. I'm not a big supplement guy. I'm kind of just right in the neutral. I just drink water and
It's nice, just regular.
just regular old human. That's what I am.
I can't do that. I can't. Mm-mm.
You gotta
I
do it.
gotta have
What
something.
happens is your body just like, I need to fucking rip.
Yeah, it's like I'm just a zombie. I don't know what life. Every once in a while, I'll take a break from everything, but I like life so much more. Just ripping coffees and nicotine all day,
Nice.
and then just taking different fun. So I like trying different fun supplements and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun.
Do you ever take one where you're really like, this one is ripping, this one's doing well?
Yeah. There's a brand here called Awesome Medicinals, and they make a mental clarity tincture, and it's like Gotu Kola and Bacopa and like a few different other herbs that are just in a tincture, and you like drop it on your tongue. And like if you take that, a cup of coffee, and a little Zyn, and you like work out, you are locked in. Well, locked in.
You're ripping.
Yeah. I like the feeling of ripping. I love you that feeling where you're like,
Yeah.
that's where I thrive the most.
That's interesting. I don't think I like that feeling. You take Adderall?
No.
Ooh, have you?
Yeah, I don't. It's too powerful for me.
Too much?
Yeah, I like. So the first I got prescribed Adderall. I started making TikToks. I had like 10 videos go viral. I got a bunch of followers right away, and then I crashed from the Adderall, deleted everything, and stopped taking it because it was like it
Sounds like it was working.
it works
dude.
really well.
Yeah,
but
it works.
It works really well. But then I started like drinking and doing drugs, and then I was like, it activates, like it worked well initially, and then I was chasing it, and then I couldn't. It's not sustainable for me.
I know a lot of people that just rip it every day, and it's like, man, that's not good. Adderall for me is, I try to stay away from it. It's too much.
Yeah.
Too much. I can't sleep. That's the big thing for me. I don't want anything to fuck up my sleep.
Okay. I sleep great.
Yeah?
I sleep like a baby. But I'm also like,
I sleep great.
I sleep fucking real good.
I'm not lying to you.
No, but I do other things to sleep, I guess, because I can fall asleep. I sleep like 7-8 hours a night. I prioritize it.
Yeah.
But then I work out and like take ice baths and stuff. And
Oh,
that
you're an
helps.
ice bather.
It's not. I don't think it's good for you, but it helps you sleep.
Dude, I read something that it's not.
If you do it after you work out, it's like you didn't work out.
Really?
Because it heals you so well.
Oh, and you kind of want your body to repair in like a strong way.
But it does help you sleep. And it does like clear your mind. And I think it's lymphatic drainage, where like sometimes fluid will build up in your body. It's like squeezing everything out of you. So I did it I did it a couple days ago, and I did it for too long. I did it for 10 minutes. And then the entire rest of the night, it was like someone had beat me up. Like I had a headache. I felt bad. I slept like a baby. Woke up feeling great.
Yeah.
But it's like it's stress and pressure on your body.
Right.
So it's like good and bad. It's like working out where you can like overexert yourself working out and hurt your body. But I don't. Some people are like, you should do it every day for 5 minutes.
Well, if you do it before you work out, do you still count?
No, it's good for you if you do it before you work out.
Okay, so before is the move.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not a fitness person at all.
I work for a fitness company, so now I'm all around fitness people. I'm thinking
That's right. You
fitness all the time.
you manage their Twitter, right?
Yes.
What's the company again?
Heart and Soil.
Heart and Soil.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I just never really cared too much about my fitness. I just feel like I've always been a pretty thin guy. I think I eat pretty good. I just drink water. I never really went overboard with it. Or
Do you
anything
feel
else.
like, is your baseline pretty good and chill?
Yeah.
See, I don't have that.
Oh.
Yeah. See, you're like, I don't need anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, if my baseline is not good nor chill. Yeah, I don't have a chill good baseline. It's like I have chaos brain.
Wow.
So I gotta like.
So
I gotta do
the
something.
the coffee kind of keeps you focused on something.
Yes, I went to college, but I dropped out of high school because I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't sit there. I was
Yeah.
like, I hate sitting here.
But college is better because it's more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, for
But
sure.
high school, I would literally like just leave. I would be in class and I'd be like, I'm leaving. And they'd be like, you can't do that. And I'd be like,
Watch me, bitch.
I actually can. I
Yeah.
can leave. I'm going to get up. And then once I figured out I could just get up and leave, like my sophomore year, it was like, I'm not coming back.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's kind of smart, to be honest.
Yeah, I got my GED.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
And then you went to college.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Yeah, in high school, I definitely did not have fun. I just sort of, but I would fuck around in class. I would just get in trouble. I wouldn't leave. I would just not pay attention. But senior year, I did start leaving. Senior year, I remember being like, I could just say I'm going to the bathroom and just be gone the entire time and just sit out in the courtyard in the sun.
I paid too much attention and then got pissed off. Like I was like, I was like so fucking like
That doesn't make any sense.
exactly. I'd be like, these people are fucking dumb. I'd be like, I gotta go. I have to leave. I can't be in this room.
my God.
I have no chill. I have no chill
Oh my God.
in my body. I'm not a chill guy.
That
so
is-
the coffee chills me out a little bit.
That's interesting because
Yeah.
that's not what it's supposed to do.
But it's like I have ADHD or whatever. So like
Yeah.
stimulants slow you down.
Yeah,
So like if
yeah.
I'm not stimulated, I'm like fucking
yeah.
filled with rage. I'm an
That's-
angry man.
So is that really how it works? ADHD stimulants bring you down?
Yep.
So then what does weed do?
Weed increases your dopamine.
So it brings you up.
No, but it depends. Weed is like will do whatever you want it to in a way. Like you can smoke weed and chill yourself out, or you can smoke. Like some people smoke weed and they get really fucking jazzed up.
See, that's crazy to me. That's nuts.
But some people do it.
I smoke weed and I would sink into this couch and be like, everything's an illusion and I'm going to die.
You got a chill ass like baseline. though. It sounds like.
Hey, dude, I'm just doing great.
Yes, it's so nice.
It's weird how like I live in a world of people like I'm taking this, I'm taking that, I'm doing this. Like, do you have an Adderall? Do you have fucking Zyrtec or whatever? Like whatever.
And you're like, I'm good.
And I'm like, no, I think I just feel fine. I do like drinking. I think drinking's fun.
Okay.
So I do drink, but if I drink too much, then I'm like, I think I'm going to stop. I just want to chill. You know?
Yeah. Do you have trauma? Do you have?
No, I don't think I have any trauma.
There it is. See, it's you don't have much psychological trauma.
That might be what it is. I had a very decent upbringing.
Yeah, it's nice. Decent is a good way to put it. We're like, yeah, it wasn't bad. It's almost that's better. You get less trauma if it's decent.
That makes me sound so vanilla. That's great.
Yeah, you're in real estate.
You're
you
like,
got a nice house.
you fucking, everything's going great for you then.
That's the dream.
Yeah,
That's the dream.
That's interesting. That is interesting. But yeah, I like drinking. I mean, I'll rip some back, but.
Yeah, see, if I drink, it awakens the demons.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
The
and I'm
demons
like,
come out?
I gotta fucking.
That's funny.
It's time to do everything.
Yeah.
It's time to. Now I'm like, no, let's just do nothing. Just caffeine, nicotine, weird supplements.
Where did you grow up? You said Chicago?
So I was born in Chicago, but like grew up mostly in Michigan, in the suburbs of Detroit. Yes.
Okay. And you started comedy in Chicago?
So I went to school at the University of Dayton in Ohio, and I did my first sets there, and then I was in Chicago for a while.
What'd you graduate in?
2016.
Well, what'd you graduate in?
Oh, psychology.
Psychology.
I was gonna be a psychologist.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
What happened there?
I realized I was trying to solve everybody else's problems instead of my own.
It sounds like your trip.
Yes.
It sounds like your trip.
It was
again.
all part of it.
Yeah.
It was all one big metaphysical lesson.
But that's kind of, there's something in there about you trying to help people. That sounds like it's a good thing.
I got in an argument with one of my friends once, and he's like, "You get off on helping people." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's good." And he's like,
No,
not good.
it's not good.
It's not good.
No, it's not good.
And then I went, "Oh, I can't do this."
You're like one of those people that makes everyone feel like shit because they don't donate to charity or something.
It was, I was a self-righteous asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. And then I didn't want to do research. And then I'm like, I don't even want to. And I looked around at my fellow students in psychology and what they were teaching. And I went, you guys are just going to fuck people up. You guys are gonna, like, if you're good therapists are born. They just are. Some people are good therapists.
Yeah.
You can't, it's really hard to teach someone to be a good therapist.
Right.
And a lot of therapists and psychologists are really bad.
So you just think that you don't have the gene.
I didn't want, once I like got over that, like, addictively wanting to help people, I'm like, I don't want to sit and listen to people's problems all day. I want to do other fun stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd go maybe like
You got over the narcissistic feeling of it.
yeah, and then I was
Yeah.
like, do I even want to do this, or do I just want to like figure something else out that's more fun?
For sure. For sure. That comedy in a way is kind of a giving thing. You're giving some people something.
I like the service industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think of comedy as a service industry job.
Yeah, I kind of
Because it's like it is a creative thing, but it's like, yeah, people
giving
show
you
up
something.
and you entertain them. It's like you're the host of a party.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, that is true. Mm-hmm. That is true. That is true. Do you You said you got out of psychology. You think that you did that when you were in college?
Yeah.
Why'd you do comedy for the first time? What made you want to be like, let's try this out?
I just I liked it, and I just wanted to. I was like, I think I can do this. I think I can do it. I was amped up. I was just amped up, looking for stuff to do. I'm always looking for something new.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, this sounds like a ton of fun. And my first set went well, and then I started bombing afterwards. But the first one went well, and I was like, I love this.
Yeah, you don't usually hear that. Usually people do bad.
Yeah, it was a bringer show, so I had a bunch of my friends there.
Oh, okay.
But also, like, I like started like stuttering and bombing, and then I acknowledged it, and then that got a laugh, and then I went on a run of like, oh yeah, I get how to you acknowledge yourself, make fun of yourself.
Yeah.
And then I forgot everything, and then for the next times, then bombed for years, and now I'm just figuring it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How long ago was that?
So that was like 8 years ago.
Oh wow. Would you say you're consistent at it?
No, no. The crazy. I've had crazy ups and downs.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, woo, things are going well, things are not going well, things are going well, things are going well.
Is that kind of
like
what you want to do now? Is like comedy? You want to do that full time?
I want to do all of the. I want to do a lot of things.
Yeah,
I want to do comedy, podcasting. I love my job. Like I love working for a health supplement company, and I want to do advertising, and I also want to like write and work. I want to be a jack of all trades in creativity. But like I'm like, there's so many. I have friends who are murderers at stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're better than I am. They're so much better than I am. And I think no matter how hard I work, they'll always be better than I am.
It's funny how many people say that, and it's so discouraging.
But it's like, I think we all have different, like, I'm like, there's other things I'm better than them at. But I'm like, I like doing a lot of different things. I'm not a purist.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pretty bad at it. But I think I'm still new. But yeah, I'm still not great at stand-up. But I think there are things I'm good at too. I mean, I don't know.
No, you could tell those fucking stories, dude. You can tell a motherfucking hook of a story real good.
I can tell a story. I can tell a story. It's weird how they don't really translate the stand-up that well, though. Like, some of them do, but some of them I'm like, it didn't really quite hit as hard on stand-up. I think it's because people lose attention pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's just a different style of storytelling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But whenever I do it, sometimes I'll do it on stage and it works well. But I need to do like a bunch of quicker stuff first to keep them engaged, and then I'm able to drop it.
You're also learning how to have a stage. Did you do stage stuff before stand up?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just learning how to be on stage.
No idea.
It takes years to do.
Yeah.
After like doing it 8 years now, I can be on stage. I
Yeah.
couldn't for years. I couldn't be good on stage. And now I'm like, okay, I can figure out how to have a stage presence. Now it's time to figure out material.
Yeah, there was the first couple times where I would do jokes and like read a story that I knew was good because it blew up online, and I was like bailing out on stage.
Yeah.
Because I was just nervous. I'm like, nobody's laughing and I'm falling apart, and I would just panic.
Dude, staying in the pocket is most of it, where you just
Yeah.
got to be like, fucking, you're listening. I'm talking.
Just commit to it, no matter what. Just fight through the weirdness. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. What else? What other hobbies you got?
I've been I've been going to like meditation meetings.
Oh, really?
It's fun where you go meditate with a group of people.
And you just don't talk to them?
No, you just like sit for like 20. There's like a Buddhist temple that one of my friends goes to that I've been wanting to go to with him. But I like yoga. I like doing meditate. It's mostly weird God stuff.
Yeah.
That's like my hobby.
Yeah.
I like going to coffee shops, sitting, reading books and writing,
Yeah.
or like doing God stuff.
What do you write about?
I journal, or I want to write books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Dan, you're all over, man.
I'm literally, but that's been my problem my entire life. I need to find consistency in my work ethic.
You got to focus.
Yes, but I love like Ernest Hemingway is my favorite.
Oh, he's
human.
great.
Yeah.
Something of Arms.
Farewell to Arms.
Farewell to Arms. I read that in college, and I was like, yeah, that was one of the best books I've ever read.
Have you read The Sun Also Rises?
No, I read The Bell Tolls.
For Whom the Bell Tolls.
For Whom the Bell Tolls. About the Spanish.
The Sun Also Rises is about a man who gets his penis blown off in the war, and then he has to watch the girl that he loves fuck his friends. That's his first book. People are like, Ernest Hemingway's so serious, and I'm like, that's the funniest book I've ever read. It's about a man whose penis doesn't work.
That sounds awful, dude.
It is.
That's so awful.
A Farewell to Arms. Do you remember what the story is?
I'm thinking Old Man in the Sea. Yeah, he dies.
No,
the girl dies.
He falls in love with the nurse, gets her pregnant. The nurse and the baby dies.
Yeah.
He just continues living.
Yeah.
That's a joke. That's like all of his books are jokes. Old Man in the Sea, the man finally catches the fish of his life, and by the time he brings this to shore, it's been eaten away.
It's been eaten away.
Every single book is a sick, twisted joke.
I wouldn't say it's a joke. I think it's like a nihilistic, like sometimes shit just happens, dude.
But isn't that what a joke is? It's
I mean,
it's
but it means
you
to be
expect
funny.
something, but it's kind of funny. It's tragically funny.
Like, I guess if you told it like a joke, like once there was a man in the sea,
exactly,
who
and
caught a fish that could be, like a Dr. Seuss or some shit.
That's how I read his books.
Yeah,
like that's because when you look at it from a faraway perspective, you're like, oh, it's a twist at the end that hurts. That's like dark. It's a dark, twisted joke. I
never put down a book from Hemingway and gone, that was funny. That's never happened.
Oh, see, I have. When the baby dies and the wife dies, I go, you son of a bitch.
Oh, my God. What was the other one? Hills Like White Elephants?
Yes, where he's hunting in Africa.
Oh, it's the abortion one.
No, it's the short story.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're right. That is.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of a different one. Yeah.
That one.
But yeah, where they are talking about her getting abortion, but they never mention the word abortion.
Exactly. Yeah.
Love it. He at the end of his life thought that he kept going around to his family and he went, there's people following me, there's people tapping my phones, and his family went, you're going insane. This happens to people. You have paranoia. They gave him electroshock treatments. It fucked with his head so bad that he killed himself.
Yeah.
And then the CIA was like, we were following him, we were tapping his phones.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I thought he just killed himself because he was old.
No, he had bipolar disorder. If you look towards the end of his life too, I fucking love Hemingway. He kept he had an addiction to falling in love and marrying women. His wife would go on a vacation, and when she would come back, he had married another woman.
Bummer.
And then she would be like, "No, I'm married to you," and he'd be like, "Oh yeah." Okay.
Can never feel like you could leave the house with him.
He would just get married to
I'm
somebody
gonna go
else.
grocery shopping. Don't fall in love,
And
okay,
he
dude?
he did it to like he was, but he was like the first experiment in psychiatry where like psychiatrists, he was near the end, they would just try different pills on him. He was just an alcoholic who was bipolar and had like mood swings, but they just were like, maybe try this pill, and by the end he went fully insane.
Oh man,
Awesome, my favorite dude.
that's crazy.
My favorite dude.
I didn't know that.
There's like a 6-part Ken Burns documentary on him.
Yeah.
Amazing. I
Yeah.
watch it like once a year. It is so good. I'm gonna rewatch it soon.
What about what's his name? Gonzo journalism guy.
Oh,
You seem like you would like him too.
I do. Fucking what is his name?
Johnny Depp and
No, yeah, we got this. It's
oh my god,
It's-
Hunter
S.
Thompson.
Thompson.
Yeah.
I like him. Not as much as Hemingway. More of a
Yeah.
Hemingway guy. I like
Yeah.
Kerouac. Did you ever read that?
Oh, Jack Kerouac. Yeah, the traveler guy.
Yeah, he wrote that entire On the Road book in 3 weeks on Benzedrine. He said he would sweat through shirts and he would just take them up to dry. Just yacked out. There was no paragraph breaks. He was writing with a typewriter and he just taped pieces of paper together so he never had to switch out the paper and literally typed it straight. Just on Benzedrine was the OG stimulant.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then later alcoholism fucking kills him because he just gets addicted to Benzedrine.
That's
and
the other
alcohol.
thing that I think is like, how can I ever be as successful as these dudes when they're all just fucking absolutely batshit crazy or massively on drugs? It seems like anyone that's incredibly successful is doing one of those things.
You just got to be more psycho, dude.
You got to be more psycho. And I am not. I think I'm like the baseline of sane a lot of time.
But maybe you're just the sane guys make cool art too. There's lots of sane artists.
Yeah.
I just don't know about them. I only know about the crazy.
That's the thing. Nobody knows them.
I know about the crazy guys.
You
'cause
wanna
those are
know
my guys.
The crazy dudes are the ones that people will go like, that guy had it because he was fucking batshit crazy.
But I'm sure there's tons of just artists who are like, yeah, I like to make art and it's good, it's fun.
yeah, and I bet it's great.
No, there's lots. I'm sure we could think of an artist where you look at their life and you go like, oh, that was a perfect life. It was like a really good, nice life.
Let's look it up.
Regular writers with regular fun lives.
I'm gonna just do this. Let's see what happens.
So we're not crazy here.
Elton John.
Dude, you're the Elton John of comedy. That's awesome. You get to be the Elton John. Eric Clapton.
God. I love that the first one was fucking Elton John.
Zendaya.
Dude.
Zendaya's had perfectly. A lot of probably actors and actresses had not that much trauma.
Oh my god!
But now these are going to be people who were once fucked up and are now sober.
Yeah, there's no way that was that Keith Richards on here.
Yeah.
There's no
Steven
fucking
Tyler.
way. Steven Tyler, that's right.
Were the Beatles? Were the Beatles fucked up?
No, they were doing so much.
Well, they
acid.
were doing a lot of acid, but pre that first album, before the acid.
Maybe they were probably that first one was.
I want to hold your hand.
Yeah, and that was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
That's what got them to
okay.
the drugs.
I'm convinced. I don't even need to read this now.
No, you could just be first album Beatles.
Yeah, first
I
album
Wanna Hold
Beatles.
Your Hand.
And those are my favorites.
There you go.
To be honest, I Want to Hold Your Hand. What's that other one that's like, if I fell in love with you, would you promise to be true? That one?
Yeah.
All of those are bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need drugs, dude.
No, dude, you don't need drugs. Drugs suck.
Yeah,
I don't need drugs either.
Yeah. Nate Bargatze's a clean guy, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's lots of them.
That's interesting. That is interesting. Yeah. I do look up to those guys though, like Hunter S. Thompson. It's just interesting to go and be around people that are like, we're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's just how I operate.
All the time.
And it's like, dang. And some of them live to be a long, happy life. It's like, it's crazy.
No, usually at the end they go.
At the end, yeah.
Hunter
they
S.
fall-
Thompson the last 10 years sounded really bad.
Yeah. Didn't he kill himself too?
Shot himself with a 22.
That's wild.
He knew exactly where to shoot himself in the back of the head to not make a mess.
Yeah, but you know that you could have just gone outside and made a mess.
But he didn't. He had married a new like towards the end of his life, he got a new wife, and he said, "I'll give you 10 years," and he gave her like 3 years. Where he goes,
the disrespect is nuts.
and then but he's like, "I'm gonna make this easy on you," and she said there's just a trickle of blood coming down because he just put a 22 to his brain stem, and then but it seemed
like I guess like that.
Yeah, it seemed like it was really painful because his body was fucked up.
Yeah.
He'd just coke and fucking drinking all of the time.
The last time I think of him being alive was him on Conan, where he was like shooting guns with Conan.
Yeah,
and he's up there like, "You're gonna shoot the 22. Give me the whiskey," and he's just like clearly not doing well.
Yeah, I don't want that life. I don't want that life. Even if it makes you great. I used to like to be, I romanticized it for a long time. And then I looked at the end of Hemingway's and Kerouac's and Thompson's life, and I went, it's not worth it.
What was Hemingway like? He's just a massive alcoholic, I thought.
Yeah, and he just ruined. There is a cool scene in that documentary where he calls his first wife, and he finally realizes that he should have just stayed with her instead of getting divorced and constantly marrying new women. And she said it's the saddest she's ever heard a person, where he goes like, "I'm really sorry for what I've done. I ruined my entire life. I'm really happy you found a good man to marry. I fucked everything up." And I'm like, ooh.
Damn, kind of selfish though. To call her right before you go, like, "You were the number one." It's like, come on, dude, she's moved on.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think part of her didn't. Part of her always was in love with.
You know, but
Yeah,
part, but not the biggest part, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But God, that is tough. You know, another thing I always think about is those guys usually are the most interesting, the people who are always fucked up. But there's probably a sea of other people doing that you never hear about.
99.99999% of the people doing that are homeless or the fucking living in shitholes. In and out of You can't
commit to
that.
that.
No, you have to be extremely talented and be successful in spite of your drug use.
And extremely lucky.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. But I do think that he was also part of just a good crew of... He was brought up in like the 20s.
Yeah, he was around F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah,
and
Fitzgerald and like Dali and like all those people in those times were the biggest people, and he was in the circle with them.
And they didn't know alcohol was bad back then. They thought alcohol was good for you.
Oh,
yes. It was like in the 30s that they started being like, wait, maybe alcohol is bad for you. But in the 20s, they thought like they would prescribe alcohol to pregnant women.
But that's when they banned it. They banned it in America in the 20s.
I think it was banned because of it was evil. I don't think it was
bad for you.
Yeah.
It was mostly the moms that were like, we're getting beat up by our husbands.
Yeah.
It's like, the alcohol. It's like, no, it's your dumbass husband.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of those women still got beat, even though the alcohol was gone.
They probably knew it was bad. I'm listening to Hemingway talk about where he said that they thought alcohol was good for you. Maybe just Hemingway thought alcohol was good for you.
Maybe.
And he was like, the doctors were like, no, it's clearly bad. But I mean, they thought smoking was good for you then.
They definitely thought smoking was good. I'm not sure why. You'd think they would know, like, hey, my teeth don't look great and my fingers are changing colors. But I think
it boosts your testosterone.
Does it really?
Yes. So smoking tobacco boosts your testosterone, so you feel more vitality. And back then they had so much testosterone compared to now that they probably like you'd smoke a cigar and you'd be like, whoa, yeah, fucking.
I've seen this thing about testosterone. I would love to measure myself. I don't think I would have a lot, to be completely honest with you. But I would love to know would I be totally different if I just had a bunch of testosterone running through my veins?
Yep. Change your personality entirely.
Is it a good thing?
It depends on if you can control it. But you can boost it naturally. Like, there are ways.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess, again, I feel fine the way I am, so I don't really feel like I need to boost it.
Yeah.
But I know that if I looked up the numbers, I wouldn't be anything exceptional on the testosterone.
Probably be average.
You think so?
Do you like lift weights and stuff?
No.
You could boost it a ton.
By lifting weights?
Yeah. Just eating meat and stuff.
I eat meat, I mean.
But that's what I mean. Fucking look at what happens to trans people when they get on testosterone. Their entire face and body changes.
Yeah.
It's like, or if you get on estrogen, like your entire face, body, personality, voice changes.
Everything
with hormones.
changes.
Yeah.
There was Ray Chenevy.
Yeah.
He had this joke where he was like, I have a friend that's like going through transitioning, and he's doing more manly things. Mm-hmm. And it's making me feel less manly because I'm noticing the manly stuff that he's doing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, I should be doing that.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty interesting because,
Going from female to male has to feel pretty cool.
yeah.
It's kinda...
Well, some of them are like, I feel like a worse person. That's what a lot of them say. They're like, I feel like I'm becoming
you're
a
on
bad
drugs.
Yeah. Because they're
You're
like,
on
I'm looking at
steroids.
people's asses and
on
like, I'm trying to
steroids.
one up people.
Yeah. That's testosterone, baby.
That's being a man, dude.
It's just chemical. Mm-hmm. We're little chemical bags.
Yeah, I had a theory. Let's see what you think about this. I used to not understand the value of creating gay people in evolution. Like, I didn't understand what the value was.
Yeah.
But now I think I get it. I think now we're seeing the value of gay people because they are actually kind of a break on population.
True.
So it's like now that there's more gay people in today's day and age and they adopt kids from other people, there's like a real value to having gay people, I feel like now, compared to the past. And I don't know, maybe the same thing could go for trans and all that. It's like, I don't know if there's some kind of evolutionary value. But I was trying to figure out, like, what is the evolutionary value of that?
I think that's what it is, probably.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just there's just genetic variations.
Just a break on population growth.
But now our population is in free fall right now.
But that's good, I think.
No, in like 40 years, there's going to be a ton of old people and no young people.
And I think that's good.
If we have robots to take care of the old people.
Well, yeah, some of them are going to die.
Yeah, a lot of them are no one's going to be able to take care of them.
But I think robots will be pretty good, though, by that point.
We're going to have, these next 10 years are the last 10 years we have without robots in the house.
For sure.
There's going to be robots in every grocery store.
That robot thing that Elon was peddling.
It's insane.
It's nuts. I saw that and I was like, it's going to walk my dog.
iRobot. It's iRobot.
It's literally iRobot.
Yep. They're going to be, people are going to be like, wait, you lived without robots?
Yeah.
They're going to be everywhere. It's going to be fucking crazy.
The other
people
one
are
is
ready.
the self-driving cars. I'm surprised that we're not pushing that to be more common. That would solve all of traffic.
They have to phase the people. It's like,
There's too many, like, I love my car. There's too many of that.
they're just going to wait for the next generation to come.
Yeah.
And then people will be like, wait, you drove a car on your own? Isn't that dangerous? And be like, yeah, people died every day. Mm-hmm. People just died. We love it.
Your dad's a trooper. I survived.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember back in the day we could drive our own cars. Yeah. But that will be phased out pretty quickly.
Yeah. I think that's the big one where I'm like, we should probably be pushing for that pretty quick because if everything's self-driving, there's no, like, the dude, fucking deaths on the road would completely free for all.
True, but then you don't have freedom. Like, imagine if you owe money in taxes and they're like, yeah, you don't get to go in cars anymore.
Yeah.
Or if you like have any infraction of anything you speak up against, they're gonna be like, you don't get to travel anymore.
They shut your car permissions off.
Yep, for sure.
Well, there's probably still a way to get around that without the government getting their hands into it.
The government's gonna control everything.
Maybe. But then dude, no, I don't believe it. I actually think there would be some private corporations that you can get, like an Uber. That's a private thing. That's like you could buy transportation without the government, like a Bitcoin for cars and
They'll take it.
transportation.
Why wouldn't the government just take it?
I think I have some
Unless
faith.
there's a revolution.
I have some faith.
I hope.
I honestly think that fear that you're expressing, there's enough people that share that would prevent that from happening. I have faith.
I think there's going to be like a real like war about that stuff. Not
About
maybe
transportation?
About freedom of transportation.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that you're right about is that the government definitely has control of the roads.
Yes.
And if they use that as an argument, well, then you're
they're gonna
screwed.
be like, you can't use the roads then with your own self-driving cars because it
Right.
doesn't work because it needs the information or whatever, or
But
it needs
then-
satellites. Or
But then there could be some kind of like flying around in the air, or I don't know. I still have a feeling that private corporations would be like travel without the government knowing. Like there's gonna be some kind of business or industry there.
I hope so.
Yeah. I would think that someone would come up with that.
I'm worried about future government.
Yeah. I don't know. I think things are pretty good right now. I mean, I feel like people complain, obviously, but I think things are okay. I don't think there's anything. At least, I mean, coming from a white guy.
Yeah, I think it's, but it's like things aren't great. It's fine.
Things are fine.
Yes, but if you look at the like wealth distribution that was 100 years ago compared to now, it's like everybody's a lot poorer than they were.
For sure.
I guess there's like the lowest rung has been brought up, but the middle class has been brought down.
Yeah, but
there's
I think
more people in lower middle class than ever.
But I don't think that's because of our government or anything. I think that has to do more with we just won World War II, and everybody came back to the United States, was given money by the government. People were building homes. There was a shitload of things that needed to be bought and made and sold, which spread wealth to everybody.
That's fair.
Whereas now, like, things are kind of solidified and separated, and you know what I mean?
Robots, dude, robot revolution is going to be crazy. The robot revolution, that's coming. Because imagine it.
But it's just going to make poor people poorer.
Unless, like, there's some sort of way to redistribute things that isn't communism that actually helps people.
What do you mean?
Like, if companies just start hiring robots and not hiring people, yes, poor people will get poorer. But if people who run big corporations decide not to be evil and help people, it's like,
yeah, right.
That's the thing. That's where I'm like, oh, it really is. We're in this time where we could go dystopian very quickly. Like very quickly, there could be no jobs and there's people poor.
Well, the thing is that if all the rich people are making money, and the thing about rich people is they need to have poor people making enough money to buy rich people's stuff. That's the only way that rich people can stay rich, is poor people have at least enough money to buy their shit.
Well, what if they don't need to sell stuff anymore because they can have...
If they don't, then they're in trouble.
Why?
Because if you're not, then they have no source of income. The thing about being rich is you need to consistently be making money.
But what if energy becomes... This is all very abstract, but what if we discover free energy, but only for the rich? So they're like, listen, I can create everything I need for myself through 3D printing and through like solar and nuclear.
Let's say that they create fission or something and they have free energy.
They would be a breakaway civilization.
They would sell it for sure.
Okay.
Even though, but it's not totally free to them. They have to maintain the fission. They have to like maintain the place where it's happening.
Yeah. It's
kind of like renting out a property. It's like, it's not just free. They have to maintain the operation of it, but they're going to make money off of it, right? And then maintaining operation, here's the problem I see. Maintaining operation, if it doesn't need to be maintained with other people, then nobody has jobs in the bottom, which means none of those people can afford the energy to begin with.
They'll just die.
They'll either die or they'll find an alternative way to surviving.
Breakaway civilization. There'll be Have you read Brave New World before?
I've seen so many like different movies and bits of it. I feel like I know all of it, but I've never actually sat down and read it.
The theory is that like there's cities which are government controlled, which are utopian, but like hedonistic utopian,
right,
where they have like classes, but you live in like a perfect paradise.
Yeah.
And then there's like people living like Native Americans.
And the Soma, they're all taking drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe, I don't fucking know.
And that could happen. Like there could be some people who are just like, we'd rather go live in the...
I think that will happen.
In a commune.
Yep. I think there'll be like the government utopian world where everything's connected, everything's super technocratic. And then other people who are like, yeah, like the Amish. There'll be people who stay at 2020 level of the Amish where they go like, no, we live like it's the 20s.
In the Amish, the Amish do it religiously, not necessarily practically, but...
Practical Amish.
Practical Amish.
Yeah. Where you go, we take enough technology to get by. We drive our own cars.
Funny. I'm Amish not because I'm religious, but because cars are expensive.
Yeah. Because I like to drive. I love to drive. I like to be able to feel the rumble of the road. And some people are going to die. So.
And they're going to have to create separate roads and places. The only thing that concerns me about that is the other thing that we have a problem with is real estate, which is there's not anywhere to put these fucking people.
Yeah, we have so much land.
Yeah, but the government's just not going to give away land to people that aren't paying taxes.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's going to be weird.
I don't know.
And that's where another planet maybe comes into play.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, oh, we can't afford to live on Earth. Let's go to Mars and try to just
I think
grow.
that'll happen in our lifetime. I think we'll get a Mars colony.
I don't
The second
think
robots
so.
can build on there, you don't think we're going to get there?
Maybe. Man, I always think no, but I have to tell you, I was talking to this dude the other day, and he was like, if there was an 80% chance right now that I could get on a launch pad, fly to Mars, and explode, like 80% chance of me dying on that launch pad, I'd do it.
Yeah, some people want to kill themselves.
And I'm like, that's
Some people,
crazy.
imagine if they offered you out of debt if you go to Mars. They go, your debt's wiped free. There's so many people in so much debt who go like, listen, I hate. A lot of people aren't living good lives, and they're
Yeah.
like, fuck it, I'll go to anywhere.
Go to Mars.
Yeah. But what if it's not sending you to Mars and they're just killing them?
Dude, you ever seen The Expanse?
No.
Oh, it's so good. So they kind of do the story of colonization in the United States, kind of with Mars.
Okay. Oh.
So there's a group of people, exactly what you said. They go to Mars to pay off their debts. They're prisoners, kind of like
Yeah.
Australia, and it's just like a little society that's separate from Earth. But what happens over a couple hundred years is Earth starts kind of getting shitty, like polluted, dilapidated. Like
Yeah.
you said, they're super, super rich and super, super poor. Earth is kind of a shitty place. But then Mars becomes really cool because everybody there is trying to make a really nice society that they could live in. And it becomes actually pretty powerful. And in this story, the colonization of Mars, the people on Mars are actually more powerful than Earth
Oh.
because they're more cohesive. They have a single plan.
Yeah.
They're just better off, and they're channeled well. So Mars has become like the power, and Earth is a little bit distracted. But very interesting. And then there's like satellites and space stations that fly all over the solar system, and they are just full of poor people.
Just flying around. They don't
Yeah.
get a planet?
And they don't get a planet. And what's
just
fucked up is
live.
they don't have exercise equipment, so they're all like deformed and shit because they're growing up in space,
Yeah, with
like
no
in
gravity.
0G.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of like fucked up. It's very interesting.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, it's a really cool show. The Expanse. You should check it out.
I'll check it out. That's good.
But yeah, I think something like that could happen. I think we live in a pretty good time, though.
Yeah. No, yeah. Objectively, it's all.
Objectively,
my life is great.
like
My
people
life is
people
great.
complain, and we're like, dude, we're doing great. I
The
think.
babies barely die anymore.
Yeah,
Most babies used to die.
Babies used to die. Fucking people.
If you went into another town, people just kill you.
Yeah.
Like even in like the late 1800s.
You used to get diarrhea, and they're like, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could just kill. Like I think about crime back then, where you could just commit a crime and then go to a new town.
Nobody would know.
Nobody knew.
Like that, what was it, Dave Chappelle, when he's like, it used to be where you would get cut on the crime scene. There'd be blood all over the floor, and then you would leave, and the detective would show up and be like, he left his blood all over the floor. Gross. Clean it up.
yeah.
Like it didn't. Now you can trace anybody, anywhere, anytime. You could get away with so much back then.
Yeah. You could just say you were a doctor. You just be like, I'm a doctor. That's what people did. They'd be like, I am the town's doctor. I've read a book.
Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, where he's just committing fraud.
Man, I wish that you could do that.
That would be a fun life.
That would be pretty fun. I don't know if I could do it. I'm not.
I wouldn't. I would be a mayor.
I would be
a
so
mayor.
scared. I'd be like, oh man, they're going to catch me. I can't just lie like this. Some people can just lie like that and it doesn't even matter to them.
1% of people are sociopaths.
Really?
1%. That's why the world is how it is. It's because 1% of people don't feel emotions.
And most of them are CEOs.
Yep. So
But again, there's a utility there. There's an evolutionary utility to be a sociopath in certain circumstances.
for themselves, yeah, but not for the species.
No, but I think
Maybe for the species.
Partially.
We are pretty big.
having one person that's a sociopath in a very powerful position can be useful.
As a number two, a sociopath is the best number two you can have.
Yes.
As long as he doesn't want to become number one.
Exactly, because that's the person that's going to say, what if we just said fuck everybody's feelings and just did this?
We have to do make the hard choices.
Yes, and that is sometimes very, very necessary.
Yes, but the problem is that they run the world, and then they're just kind of like, well, we don't care about these people.
Yeah.
We got to kill them. We got to starve them.
Yeah. And those are the people that are doing ayahuasca. And
Yes, imagine a sociopath doing ayahuasca, becoming more powerful, and then creating fucking Facebook, and
Yeah.
then just selling data.
And he's
then
like, no,
manipulating
everybody
people.
needs a Facebook and Instagram account. Everybody
Yes.
needs one.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
good that we have. It's good that you have advertisements that are perfectly tailored to you. It's important that your decisions are made. People don't know what they want.
And in a weird way, they're kind of right, but in a weird way, they're also
it's like so
really
close
wrong.
to the truth.
Yeah.
It's like so close.
I think about that with Stalin all the time because Stalin kind of did that. No, Hitler, Mao, like all those big guys, they did the thing of like, what if we just killed a shitload of people for the benefit of everybody? And it's like, well, that's crazy though. Nobody would have said that.
Yeah.
Nobody.
They're psychos.
Yeah, you're
Sociopaths.
insane to suggest that.
They're like, we got to kill like 20 million people so that these 10 million people.
But then
can be
after
happy.
that, we're good.
Yeah, I promise.
We're so good after that, dude.
And then they're like, fuck, we got to kill more people. We got to fucking, I don't want to. You know I don't want to kill all these people, but I have to kill
we
all
gotta
these people.
do it. That's
Too many
crazy.
mouths to feed. We got to kill.
Too many mouths to feed.
That's
That's funny. That is scary. That is scary. I would hate to be in charge of a country. That's just too much pressure. You ever have someone ask you that? Like, if you were king, what would you do?
Oh, I would love it. I would thrive in that position.
Really?
I would get a council for sure.
Oh yeah.
I would hire a council.
Like a round table.
That's what I would hire the smartest people. I would force people who didn't want to be in my council to be in my council.
Oh yeah.
I'd go to industry, the top of every industry, and I'd go, fucking you're...
You ever seen The King with Timothy Chalamet?
I have not.
Oh, there's a scene where like this guy's a drunk at a bar and he's like, "You need to be on my council. You're smart." And he's like, "I don't want to be on no fucking." He's like, "You have to.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
the
what-
king."
yeah.
And he's like, "Fuck you, I'll do it." And then the guy's like has the best insights.
Yeah.
He's amazing, and it's because he doesn't want to be there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You have to hand select people who don't want to be there. Because
Yeah.
everybody wants to be on the council, you're out. You want power. It's
You
like
want
people
power.
Who are like, fucking, I have a family. I don't want to be on the council. It's like, you're perfect.
You're
for me.
chosen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I love power. You know, power's fun.
Yeah.
I like to make those choices.
I
Maybe
never
would hate
really
it.
cared too much about power. Like I don't know. I just feel like if I was king, I would kind of maybe do something silly just to fuck with everybody. And then I'd be like, nah, this isn't for me. I'll give it up. You
I would
know?
try my best. I've always wanted to be mayor of a town.
Really?
It's a dream of mine. I hope in later in life, once I retire, I can be mayor of a small town.
Why mayor?
Sounds like fun.
Saying mayor is so humble, but also power hungry. Yeah. I love power, but I'd love to be just a mayor, you know?
'Cause
Nothing,
if you
nothing
could-
too crazy.
Find like a small, like I'm sure at Texas especially, because they're all like for like individual rights. If you were the mayor of a town, you could probably go pretty far. You could probably make some serious changes.
You'd be respected among the community, but not considered power hungry. It's like, this guy cares about us.
Yeah, I would make changes. I would
Yeah.
make a special type of town.
Yeah.
And then I would secede. I feel like we're a state. We're going to be a tiny little state and we're going to grow.
Yeah.
And then people would be like, all right, he's chilling. He's a little crazy.
He's a little wild. He's a little crazy.
Maybe I would pick a town.
And weed is legal in this state.
Maybe I would pick a town right on the border of like a few different states. And I'd be like, we could just become our own tiny little state. Our own tiny little free state.
Yeah, yeah. That would be interesting. You get invaded by the U.S. government
Go
so
for
fast.
sure, yeah.
Start slaughtering families. You're like, this is my dream. They're carrying you out of there.
They love me here. I am the king.
Take me.
I am the king. So my last name is Hutto, and there's a town in Austin named Hutto. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that's my destiny.
Yes.
Go take over Hutto, Texas.
You
become
saw
the
a
mayor.
map and you saw Hutto. You're like, this was it.
Yes, I think it's related to my family.
Yeah.
It is someone I'm loosely related to the Huttos who incorporated that town.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What is that name?
It's Finnish, I believe.
Finnish.
Yes, Finland.
Ah.
Germanic Finland. I'm like German, Finland, Polish, just a white mutt.
Man, Finnish is kind of the interesting white, though.
Yeah.
Because that's
Interesting
almost,
whites.
that's almost Slav. It's almost Slavic.
Yeah. It's a touch of Russian.
Touch of Russian.
Because my family's Polish, but the Poland that we come from is now Russia. Russia took it back.
Old school, old school. I just listened to like a 4-hour podcast on the war between Sweden and Russia and Poland.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got to look it up. I got to learn about my people.
It's pretty interesting. 1600s, Peter the Great. It's good. Good listen.
I'll give it a listen.
I love history. I love history. That's why.
I like it, but I don't have the attention span. I like to learn about it, but I I'm never like, oh, I got a free night to myself. Time to look into this history.
Better put on this William the Conqueror podcast.
Yeah, I try every once in a while, but I just can't. I love a good documentary, but that's. I love
Documentaries are
also.
good.
What's his name?
You seem like the kind of guy that might have conspiracy theories.
All of them. Yeah, all of them. Who was it? David McCullough? You ever read his books?
No.
1776?
No.
He's like a historical. No, he's just a historical writer, not historical fiction. The best. He's my favorite non-fiction writer of history.
Why?
He wrote a book on Thomas Jefferson, Sam Adams, the year 1776, Paris, and he's just a good writer. I like that. I like American Revolution history.
Yeah. I don't dive too much into it. I mean, I know about it because I learned about it in school, but to me, it's sort of, I don't know. I feel like I kind of get the idea at this point.
I like the time. I feel like it was a fun time.
It was an interesting time.
The Indian War? That's crazy. I never learned about the Indian War.
Well, the French and Indian War.
Yes, but there was also it's called where we fought Indians.
Yeah.
In school, we're not
in the 1800s?
Yeah.
You're talking about like Custer?
Yeah.
Oh.
We battled tribes in like warfare.
Yeah, but it wasn't really a battle.
No, they won a lot.
Well, they won because we were dumb as fuck.
They were also smart.
They were smart, but we were so cocky.
Yes.
Like we were like the whole Custer thing, like I was saying, is like that story is just like, dude, that guy was a cocky asshole. That's what happened.
They were stupid and drunk.
Yeah.
Yes, they were mostly drunk. And the Indians.
They're Indians. They don't even have like an army. We could just fuck them up.
They fucking fucked it. Like, there were 6 million Native Americans when we got here.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking people. Mm-hmm. And we battled them, and we were pretty brutal about it.
We fucked them up.
We fucked them up.
Now there's like 20.
Yeah, really. It's scary.
It's pretty bad. What's crazy is Texas history, because Texas has 2 Indian reservations. Some states have hundreds.
Oh, wow. And there were so many Indians here.
And there were so many Indians here, and we're also one of the biggest states.
I know, and we pushed them to a little tiny place.
We killed so many. It's so crazy how bad it was here.
Because we just had reinforcements coming from Europe who didn't know what was going on. So they just kept bringing, like, imagine that with the Indians. If we just had the initial, we couldn't send, they had 6 million. They would have defeated us. But people who didn't know what was going on from Europe just kept coming over and fighting.
And to them, it was kind of like a gold rush. It was like, oh, we can go out in a battle and fight Indians and maybe get famous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's try to be famous and kill Indians.
Yeah, it was you were a celebrity.
You were a celebrity.
Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah. But Custer was, I don't know, kind of an idiot.
Yeah. No, they were all drunk, dumb. But I had like a vague idea that they just died all of diseases. And it's like, yeah, there was diseases, but there were lots of battles. Lots and lots of battles.
Yeah.
And then scalping, where they started scalping us, and then we're like, fine, we're scalping you guys then.
We can do it too.
Yeah, they were collecting them.
How petty, dude. How petty.
We couldn't have thought of that.
That's
The Indians, they saw
petty.
us cutting. And they were just doing it, and then we're like, well, we'll pay for Indian scalps. That's what if you collected
They're like, actually, this is useful.
Yeah, this is currency
We can
now.
see how many you've killed.
Yes.
They used to take ears. That'd be another thing they would do.
Crazy.
Yeah, they would take ears.
Brutal.
Be like, just bring me 16 right ears of an Indian. And it's like, okay.
Ooh,
I'll go do my best.
Whoops. One thing I didn't realize till late in life that all like rednecks of the South are French.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're like, it's just feral French people.
Well, unless you get like the South Carolina guys, they're pretty English, I would feel.
But like Louisiana, the Louisiana Purchase, essentially.
All of those. But all those guys are going to be...
It's just French people who have gone feral.
Like Theo Von?
Yes, but he's German.
Really?
Yeah.
But he grew up around Louisiana, right? I think he's from Louisiana. He seems like a typical kind of Cajun hillbilly guy.
Yeah. But just the Cajun hillbillies. I didn't put that together with like the French because when I was a kid, I thought of French as so fancy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but if you look, it's like F1, NASCAR, champagne.
Yeah, there's
Miller
a
Lite.
thing.
There is the same, like snails, crawfish. They like the same thing, but like poor versions of it.
Yeah. There's a calling there.
They are.
There's a calling to snails and cars moving fast.
Yeah, they love it. And
That's
the champagne of beers, that's for the French.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, Miller Lite, the banquet.
They're the trashiest French you could find.
French trash.
That's actually hilarious. That must be a
French
bit you're doing. That was too
I've
good.
thought about it.
That's great.
I'll do it as a bit.
That is good. Cajun people are just yeah. There's like a calling to the motherland that they're looking for.
You drive fast, you go.
Yeah. And the people in France are looking at it like somehow we hate them, but we also respect them.
Yes.
I don't know.
We love them.
We love them so much. I wanted.
feral.
I had a bit I was trying to do about the French, but I can't. Again, I can't make it funny. I don't know how to do it. Make it funny. I feel like the Spanish, the fucking English, all of these people when they took over a place, they moved there. You know what I mean? Like they settled.
Yeah.
The French didn't seem to want to leave France. They were like, we'll take a place, but we really don't want to move there.
No, they love France too much.
They love
did
France.
New Orleans, but then
They did New Orleans.
Oh no, Quebec.
Quebec, but even then it was like, God, we'll give it to the English. Fuck it, you know?
Yeah, they hate, but the French Canadians feel like they're more French than the French people now.
True.
There's like a real hearty, where they're like the real French are in Quebec.
Yeah, exactly.
Quebec.
Which is the most French thing ever to do.
To make it New France.
To be like, no, we are French now. They're just fucking assholes over there. Dude, the French are fascinating to me.
I love them.
Because they're so patriotic and douchey, and yet they hate us because they say we're patriotic and douchey, but they're literally that's them.
They respect the fuck out of us.
When
I went to France, I went and studied abroad in France for a month. The French, they respect Americans because like D-Day to them just happened because their history is so long.
Yeah.
Like they're a little embarrassed, I think. That they hate us in part because they're embarrassed that we saved their country. Where they go, France would not exist without the United States.
Yeah.
But the United States wouldn't exist without France in the Revolutionary War.
True.
So it's like a get back. But I had French people be like, "Thank you, America, on 4th Day of D-Day and
That's
World War II."
amazing. They're still bringing up D-Day? That's
Yep.
crazy. I would never bring up D-Day.
Because to us, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But they've been around for thousands of years. It just happened.
Really I guess we saved Germany too, but really the only country we saved was France.
Yeah, no, Germany's still Germany.
Germany's still Germany.
France would have been Germany.
France would have been Germany.
Yeah, they had it.
And then it would have
down.
And then it would have been Russia, is what would have happened.
yeah.
The Russians just would have kept going.
Yes.
If we didn't do anything. That's interesting.
I could live there. That's like I think I would love to live there part-time in south of France.
Oh, really?
Yeah, love the French people.
Oh, wow.
They're psychos, but they're so.
I went to Paris once, and I remember thinking, man, everyone here is kind of an asshole.
But they're mean when they're confused. So if they don't know what's going on, they're like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?" And then you tell them, and they're like, "Oh, okay." But they're like very like logic based. They're like they have autism. They have French autism.
I remember just going there, and they were every single time, every experience. I was like, I can't believe he said that. Like there would be times when my dad would try to speak French, and they were like, "Stop talking, stop it."
I love that. See, I like that.
They were like, "Stop doing that. Your French sucks."
Yeah.
It sucks.
It did suck, probably. They were being honest with him.
No, they were like, but not even
it
like...
hurts me. It's bad. They're like, no.
They'd be like, you are disgracing the soul of my language. Like crazy shit like that.
I love that. I love that. Those are my people. Because in America, we're like, oh, that was actually pretty good.
No, I mean,
and then we go, that guy's a fucking piece of shit.
If someone walked up to you and just started speaking poor English, you'd probably be like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Or you give him you'd be like, oh, thank you for trying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you maybe make a little joke out of it and be like, you gave it a shot, you know? But I think you'd probably be like, what the fuck? Like, what? Say it again? Oh, okay, I get you. Then you would kind of help. Yeah. But he was just immediately like, stop that right now.
It's very funny to me. It's very funny as a way to live your life constantly. They're just full confrontation, full. Here's exactly. They don't need to talk shit behind anybody's back because they do it to their faces.
They'll do it to your fucking face.
They'll tell you instead of like you go home at the end of the day and you go, this guy did this and this guy did this. You go, I told him what he did. Everybody, I told him exactly what I was thinking.
It reminds me of that. You ever seen The Patriot?
No.
Oh my God, I keep quoting media and you don't know what it is.
I don't watch that many movies.
It's the movie with Mel Gibson, and he's 1776, and he's working with this French guy. And there's a moment where he opens up to the French guy about his son, and he's telling him about his son and all this stuff. And the French guy kind of looks at him like this and goes, and then just walks off. And then Mel Gibson goes, fucking French, dude.
Yeah, that's I like that culture. I am a fan of that type of culture. It's good. They keep it very real.
It's so funny.
I'm going to go back soon.
To France?
Yeah. I love Normandy. That was one of my favorite places in the world, was to go to Normandy.
Really?
Yeah.
What about it?
You just feel it. You just like, some shit happened here.
Oh, yeah?
So there's like I like cemeteries. Big cemetery guy.
Really?
So that's the number one cemetery in the world, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe Egypt is a cooler cemetery. If you think
Egypt
about
would
it.
be pretty good.
Yeah. I've never been there, but I like a good. There's some cool cemeteries in Austin. There's the state Capitol Cemetery.
You just walk cemeteries?
Love them.
Sell this to me right now.
Everyone there is dead. Everyone, you're walking on top of thousands of bodies, and it's just like you know in the moment. There are boring moments in life, right, where things aren't exciting. There's no boring moments in a cemetery because you're constantly reminded of the finality of death and how intense life is. It's just a reminder of the experience that we're living in life. So to walk around and be like, that guy doesn't exist anymore. He existed a full life. There's a little thing describing him. Here's his family. Sometimes there are big special ones, and they'll be like, well, this guy, like American Sniper, is buried close by to here. He's at the Austin State Capitol Cemetery. And it's being like, oh, this guy has this legacy. And then there's also like 1,000 Confederate unmarked. They don't have gravestones. They just have crosses. I think crosses or maybe flags. But it's just fascinating.
Yeah.
I love cemeteries.
That is interesting. That would make it for a good day to just kind of walk a cemetery, I feel like.
Whenever I'm going to start to make it a thing.
You got to go to the
whenever I
one
visit
in New Orleans. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, they got a good cemetery there?
That's the big one. That's the one that Nicolas Cage is always talking about.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like a pretty famous cemetery.
I want to go to that. I'm going to New Orleans in a couple months.
Go.
I
Go
will.
to that
Maybe
one.
that's okay.
That's
I
the-
wasn't
that's the
actually. I
stop.
wasn't that excited about going to New Orleans, and now I'm like, oh,
They have a big cemetery,
and it's French.
and it's French.
French goths.
It's a very Frenchy goth
Yeah.
cemetery. In fact, let me pull this sucker up.
I'm a big fan of goths. I am goth. Like
Yeah?
Nicolas Cage. He has the funniest quote of all time where he goes, I identify as a goth. And I think that's very funny. I also identify as a goth.
Oh man, you don't look like. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, like this.
You don't have to look like a goth to be a goth. That's the part of the thing.
Yeah,
Those people who dress goth, rarely are they goth.
yeah.
It's more of a mindset type thing.
You just kind of worship death.
Yeah, you just feel a way. I don't know. It's a vibes based thing.
Yeah, look at that. Look at those. Look at those tombs.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's the one.
Saint Roche.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a tour.
yeah. That's a good shot of it.
Yeah, those are some cool cemeteries.
These are cool. I went to a good one in London because my grandma died there. We got to
Oh.
walk around. I remember seeing a tombstone and it said 1305 on there.
That's so cool.
And I was like, that's crazy. I did remember, like, I had a moment where I was like, damn. I couldn't even focus on the ceremony I was at because that was so
1305.
nuts to me. I was like, that guy died and his shit is still here. That's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
His bones are there.
Yeah. Well, probably not anymore.
Yeah, his bones were there. No bones last.
Yeah, do they?
Yeah,
Or how long?
I mean we dig them up, right?
What's the oldest gravestone, you think?
It's
is something a goth would
700.
know.
Oh, in the United States, you got to look in. Probably does Egypt count?
This is not true.
Yeah, it's AI trying to answer. It's got to be. It's got to be the mummies. Isn't that technically?
The mummies.
I
guess
in
you're
Egypt.
right. Maybe the pyramids is like the oldest
Yeah.
tombstone.
Israel. That makes sense. 3,000 years.
Israel. 70,000. Wow. What's crazy to me is that there was a moment. Oh, 3,000 years ago. Wow. What's crazy to me is that there was a moment where these people. There was a graveyard 3,000 years ago, and something happened where it just people stopped paying attention to it, and then it got covered in dust.
Yeah, it's just a regular place.
And then it just became a place. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was at one point, the graveyard downtown on 7th Street someone will just neglect it to the point where we forget that
It'll
it's
be a
even
field.
a graveyard.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a field.
Yeah,
Isn't that kind of weird?
it's wild.
Like there could be a graveyard here.
Indian burial ground.
Yeah, from thousands of years ago that I never knew about, and it's just my house now.
And that's spirits.
That's spirits.
That's why your mom saw that spirit.
Yeah.
Go to full circle.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. A little. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
a little. Like enough. I don't worry about them.
You don't worry about them?
Worry about no. I don't not in like the woo sense, but
Yeah.
in like the maybe some people die and they don't properly pass on. And then they become attached to things or people. And like I don't know. I think you know how people are like there's an afterlife?
Yeah.
I think it's all here. I think all of the afterlife and the before life is like I think it's dimensional. So I don't think it's like you don't go anywhere necessarily because there's nowhere to go because it's all here.
Right.
But I don't it doesn't make I don't think we can rationally understand how things make sense. Like I don't think there's any way to answer that with a human brain. Or you go, I don't know. But weird shit happens all the time, and it's I'm like pretty woo woo, pretty out there spiritually.
Yeah.
But I don't have any conclusions.
What's a crazy spiritual thought you have that it's like, ooh, that's a wild one?
Well, it's like I guess reincarnation, that life never ends. God is real is pretty crazy.
That's not too wild, I don't think.
The devil is real.
You think the devil's real? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a little wilder.
I think the devil is. People think the devil is all about like meanness and punishment. I think the devil's all about pleasure and joy.
I see that.
Yeah, I think the devil's like.
But he takes it too far is kind of what you're saying.
Like the story in the Bible about the devil is that he tempts humans to show God that humans were a mistake. So he brings humans' flaws to light, essentially. So like our hedonism, pleasure, sex, he inflames them. He doesn't like punish us. He makes us hurt ourselves through temptation of good things, like fun stuff. He takes pleasure, like pleasure was made by God, twisted by the devil to be like, hey, humans fucking suck.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you believe he's like in hell?
I think hell is not a place. I think hell exists on earth. I think both heaven and hell exist on earth because you can be in hell on earth. And it's like, yeah, I've been in hell. I've experienced hell. It's as bad as things can get. And I watch other people who live in hell where I go, you're living in hell. There's no like, it's not like getting fucked in the ass with a pitchfork. It's like ruining your life.
Yeah.
When you ruin your life, you're in hell. You're in hell. And then you're just in hell. And it's because it's like the Bible, I think in all religious books, they're very metaphorical. So it's like, it's not a place. It's a feeling. But I don't think you go somewhere else. Maybe you're reincarnated and you have a hard life, but I don't think there's like a place called hell. Maybe there's a place called heaven, but I don't think it's like you go there and you stay. Maybe you pass through. I think there's all different places. I don't know.
Yeah.
I try not to think about it too much.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm open to all of it.
It's interesting. The fact that you think about it at all, though, I'd never think about this.
I don't know what else to think about. It's all I think about all the time.
I feel like most of my day is like, what am I going to eat? What am I going to do later? maybe I should do more of this. Maybe I should work on this a little bit more. I need to like work on this in my life. I never think about the afterlife.
That's all I'm thinking about, like, what is the purpose of my existence? Why do humans exist? What am I doing with my life?
But I think it's because I have such a simple idea of how we operate. Like for me, it's like, okay, I am like a little bug.
Yeah.
And I'm just sort of crawling on this rock. And I have things that I do that make me feel good. And there are things that make me feel good, but only in the short term, and I need to be careful with those things. So I need to focus on doing things that'll make me feel good over time, stay focused on that, and then one day I'll die, and that will suck, and nothing happens after. That's what my impression of life is.
I'm thinking every single choice I make has dire metaphysical repercussions that ripple across the entire universe.
You're putting a lot on your shoulders.
It's a lot. I'm crazy, dude. I'm crazy. I'm a crazy person.
Oh my god.
But it's like a fun, I like being this type of crazy. It's a fun type of crazy.
But like,
I've learned how to handle it. Before it was too much. Now
also,
I'm having fun with
like
it.
a foot could step on our little anthill and we'd all just disappear.
No, it's not how God works in my head.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think like we're flying like in space? We are flying in a solar system through the universe. We could collide with another solar system at any second and just evaporate and explode.
So here's my craziest thing: the only things that God wills will happen. There is no randomness in my perception of the universe.
Yeah, but can't God will a meteorite to hit the planet?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then that's what was supposed to happen.
Okay, right. So then that would be God's will then.
Yeah.
But if that's God's will, then what's the point of even saying it? It's the same thing as me saying it.
No. Because there's a reason for it then. If you say it, there's no reason, you're just saying it. But I'm like, I think there's a reason for everything. I like think everything. I'm like that's where I got too far out, where I kept looking too deep into the reasons for everything. But I think like,
but you'll never understand.
Yeah, you know, like in a dream, how everything means something.
Yeah,
everything's like related to a layer of your subconscious.
Yeah,
I think that is the same with waking life. Everything is some sort of like, it's like God's dream where everything is related and everything has meaning. That's true, I think, to a certain degree. You can take that into schizophrenia, or you can like live it into.
I did have a pretty interesting dream the other day that woke me up, and I felt it like nervous, and I was like, I feel like something bad is going to happen to me. Mm-hmm. And then when I started working, something happened at work that was like exactly. I was like, this is exactly what I thought. You know what I mean?
I experience that all the time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, something bad's going to happen to me today. And then on that day, something exactly bad happened. Yep. And I was like, damn, that was kind of crazy. That was a weird moment, you know, where it's like I felt something and then something bad happened.
I live in that intuitional weird world too much.
Really?
I need to come back down. I need to ground myself repeatedly because I get too heady.
But you can't see, the problem is that you can start that can go too far.
Yeah, it literally is psychosis.
Yeah. But I think sometimes it can be right.
No, that's intuition.
Yeah. Because there are other times where I'm like, this is going to go well.
Where you go like, you know what, it's like when you make a phone call at the right time, you go to the store at the right time, you see somebody, you're like, I don't know why I think I should do this right now.
Yeah.
And then you do it, and then it causes a chain that's a good chain.
Yeah.
So I'm obsessed with that. I'm like every single decision is like, it's like, it's playing chess on a huge scale.
Oh, that's a lot though. My God. I only notice it when it's really overwhelming. And sometimes it's with people.
Oh, see, I notice it in everything. That's a problem.
People is a big one. Like I'll meet someone and I'm like, this person's going to end up being a bigger piece of my life in the future. You know what I mean? You ever meet someone and you're like, I can tell that you're going to be a big part of my life. I've had that with a couple people lately, and I'm like, that's interesting that I thought that. And it's usually accurate. And I'm like, I guess that's just intuition. But, or it could just be understanding, like, we're going to be sharing real estate over the next couple while. So that's why that's going to be the thing.
But it's both, I think.
Yeah, maybe
it's like a logical, rational understanding of things, as well as like a,
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's interesting intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the people who go all the way on the other side, and they're like, the body is buried in fucking latitude 92. Those
Have
people.
you seen what the CIA has released lately?
Yeah, I did see this
Fucking
stuff.
crazy,
That
dude.
they've been working on telepathy and what was the word they called it?
Remote viewing.
Remote viewing.
They're very good at it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the telepathy tapes yet?
I have been blown away by those.
Yeah, so humans can do fucking telepathy. Like, it's just like they proved it. We can do telepathy.
So, like, here's the thing. Here's the problem. Okay. Let's say I believe all of it.
It's proven.
Okay. I'm in there. What am I supposed to do with that information? So now we can...
You learn how to be telepathic, I guess.
But is that just something that we can all do?
Yeah.
Or...
They're like, everybody can do it. Some people are better at it than others.
It was
like
just
playing
autistic
basketball.
people, though.
No, but in the remote viewing, they're like, there's a bell curve. Some people are really good at it. Some people are okay at it. But they're like, with remote viewing, they're like, no, you can teach anybody how to do it. That's crazy. You can be like, oh, what's in the cabinet? And you can teach somebody how to figure out what's in the cabinet. And there's billions of dollars, and the government is working on it every day.
What else do you know about it?
That they can do it that they're doing it to spy on other countries.
Really?
Yeah. Watch Hal Puthoff on Rogan, who was running the remote viewing program for the CIA, tells everything. And he goes, here's what we've been doing. Here's how we tested it. The CIA thought we were pulling a prank on them. We repeatedly showed them, you can write numbers down, put it in, you can write on a piece of paper, write something, take it somewhere across the world, and this guy will tell you the numbers and tell you the longitude and latitude of it. And it's like, because we got the best guys on it. And we have people who go, that's fake, that's bullshit. They teach that person how to do it, then they become part of the team. It's like humans we're weird magic little monkeys. We're little magic monkeys. We might be living in a video game. We might be living in a... Who knows? I don't know really what to do with that either. Except for to try to get good at it. I kind of want to go to the Monroe Institute. That's where they teach people how to do it. I want to learn.
I don't even know where to go with that. Like, what? Like,
it's impossible to talk about without the people who have done it, because or else you just sound like you're bullshitting.
I know. Well, I mean, I know, but I did see the supplement dates, and I do, like, after all of those clips, I was like, okay, I'm in there. I get it.
Yep.
But can I really learn how to, like, I
Yep.
can't learn how to do this unless I get some...
You have to be trained.
You have to be trained?
Yeah.
See, but this feels already weird, because then you're going to have people who are going to be like, oh, I could train you how to do... That's back into cult. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if it's the CIA doing it...
I mean, yeah.
I don't really know what to do with that. I don't think that's what I don't think about that
The
much.
scary thing is you could get really into cult again with this, because you can get people who are like, I'm going to teach you remote viewing, and then they can sneak in some other shit where they go, not only can I teach you remote viewing, I can teach you like telepathy, like reading thoughts of others. And then, but that's ego again, you're going to start thinking, ooh, I am elevating myself.
But no, here's the thing. They say, apparently there's remote viewers, they're like, when you start doing that, you lose the ability to do it. So it's like when people get overconfident and they start to go, oh, I know how to do this, they completely forget how to do it. There's like a certain zenness that you need to get, because or else you start using your imagination. And then they're like, your imagination will just make shit up, and that's not true. You have to like look, and to do it, it's like you have to have a pure spirit almost.
Oh,
because all the dudes that do it are like natural meditators. Like it is probably super hard, but it does appear, based on the data, that humans have the ability to tap into the energetic field that exists in this reality and transfer their consciousness to different places, which is pretty cool.
You know what I think it comes down to? You remember the double slit experiment?
Yes.
It's kind of like that. Because I think what that experiment taught was if you perceive, you change.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You change reality by simply observing it. So I think in a way, what that tells me is if you can just observe a quality that you want, you can tap into that quality.
You can create reality with perception.
You can create reality with perception. Like, I want to do this thing. You can actually start doing it with your mind.
If you work out and then you visualize yourself working out, your muscles grow faster.
Yeah.
There's like, they've done studies, or if you don't work out and you just visualize yourself working out, your muscles will still grow.
If you don't work out and just visualize. So if I just visualize my arm getting bigger.
If you visualize yourself lifting weights, your muscles moving, each one getting tighter, each one growing. They did a study where they had people work out a certain amount of time, and then they had other people work out the same amount of time and then spend extra time visualizing themselves working out. And the people who visualize themselves, I don't know the exact, but there's something along there where you can visualize yourself doing an activity and it's almost the same as practicing it, essentially. So it's like, yeah, whatever this game is that we're playing is like a lot of it's here. It's not as much out there. It's like a lot of it.
That's interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to, but then, I mean, another one is Elon. Visualize going to fucking Mars. You go to fucking Mars.
Well, it's like, okay, so Schrodinger's, do you know this is the douchiest thing to bring up. Schrodinger's cat.
So the thing about Schrodinger is that was an example used to disprove something.
Really?
Yes. He was basically saying, like, but if I put a cat in the box and out of the box, it's dead. It's either dead. It's both dead at the same time. And he used that as a means of disproving.
But now
it ended up being true.
People are like, no. There's literally no cat in the box until you look.
I'm going to get more water. Sorry. Yeah. Running out. You want anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay, hold on one second.
No, this setup is sick.
Yeah.
This is a great setup.
Yeah, I like it. That's good.
It looks great.
For someone who said you've been in a lot of them, I'm glad that this one ranks.
No, yeah, this is very good. This is a great setup. You just keep it exactly how it is.
What I need to get is a better camera.
The camera looks fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, if I had a good camera, I feel like.
If the only thing, I would just keep that as the wide shot. If you just had another camera and you had two tight, like one tight on each person for clips.
Yeah.
But like the overall like podcast YouTube for the big video, I would just keep it like that. And then for clips, have the tight flip back and forth.
Yeah, that might be the move. If I had a camera here that was stationed at my face and one there stationed at yours. The thing is, I don't know how to sync in those two cameras to the laptop and then get the audio from each of them while those cameras are. I'd have to figure that out.
You'd have to edit and post, and it would be a pain in the ass.
It'd be a pain, but it would be interesting. That's why I like the wide shot, and then I can just edit it on each person's face.
It's fine. You're doing enough. I would just keep. Don't worry about the other stuff. Just get good at just keep podcasting.
Yeah, I'm just going.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. If you just stay consistent for a year, you'll be like, oh fuck, we have listeners.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah, so then the new guy's theory is basically he's like, or the double slit experiment is that life or reality, it only exists when you look at it, and it ceases to exist if nobody's looking at it.
Right.
So that it's a video game. That's what the new guys, that's what the remote viewers think. They're like, no, it's a video. We're in a video game. For sure, we're in a video game. If you're not looking at it, it doesn't exist. If a tree doesn't fall in the forest because no one's looking at it, it's only on when people go, they see did the tree fall or not. It's not even did it make a sound. It's that there's no fucking forest unless there's somebody looking at a forest. Which is crazy. Who knows if that's true? But
damn. So when I say the N-word alone.
It doesn't. Maybe, yeah.
That's so wild.
That stuff I can't think about that much.
I don't believe that though. I kind of am under the impression of things happen when I'm not there. Like that's my impression. Things are happening every day while we're not seeing them.
Well, maybe everything is consciousness.
Well, that's the other theory that I've seen. The other theory I've seen is that rocks are conscious.
It might be.
There's another one, and they actually had this theory in elementary school, so I'm pretty fucking smart, They were saying the sun is conscious. And I was like, I mean, yeah. If
But
it's
then everything is conscious, maybe.
Yeah.
But does it have a soul?
that's the question.
The sun doesn't have a soul in my
You don't
way.
think the sun has a soul?
No.
The sun's got to have something.
Maybe.
I think the sun being conscious kind of makes sense to me. It is kind of like a unified, pulsating. It has a lifespan. Like it gives off waste. It classifies almost as a life form.
That's what the pagans believe. Pagans believe the sun has a spirit.
I would say
Maybe
that
a little pagan.
maybe I'm a little
I'm
pagan.
I'm a touch pagan.
Coming from a Christian, that feels like you're punching down on a
No,
pagan.
I love the pagans.
Yeah, maybe you're just a pagan, dude.
No, I like the pagan. I have my
Convert your ass, dude.
my cousin is a shaman, which is essentially he's a white shaman. He's a white pagan shaman.
Your cousin's a shaman for real?
Yeah, he's big into spirits.
Oh,
Went and trained in South America with all the big all the who's who of the shaman community.
he did ayahuasca there?
Yeah, he did all that, but he mostly like he there's like ikiros. There's dudes who'll train you in shamanism if you show up.
That's why you did it.
Proclivity to it.
That's why you went, right?
It was part like he was influential in my religious life.
A shaman.
Yeah. Then he went to Chinese medicine school, and now he's doing more
That's
herbs.
interesting.
Yeah.
Is Chinese medicine. That's something I was looking into. It's like I had pretty bad diarrhea the other day, and I was like, is the medicine that we're getting? I have a theory about medicine that the medicine that we get isn't actually cure you. It's just designed to make you buy it again.
Well, it just clears symptoms.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that it happens again and you have to buy it again. But I do think that in the past, there are ways in medicine, like dandelions, for instance, can be medicinal.
Yeah. It's good for your liver.
Exactly. And people have held this information away from the masses so that they could sell stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a theory. And I think Chinese medicine is a perfect example. There's so many times you hear people going to Chinese medicine to solve something, and it totally works.
No, it's awesome. Acupuncture is a game changer.
What does that do exactly?
You ever feel like one? It can like the most tangible thing is headaches. You get headaches, and if you can go point certain needles, it just like moves the energy in your body. It like draws blood to certain areas of your body. So like I'll get it. I have like jaw problems, and sometimes so like needle my jaw, and it just breaks. It like brings blood to the area and helps break it up. But then also it's like the theory is that there's channels running all through your body connected to different areas, and you can there's energy blockages in them, and you break it up by putting needles in them. So it's like you put needles in your foot to help your liver. But I notice a tangible difference after I thought acupuncture was bullshit. He was in school for it, and I'm like, oh, sure. He's like, let me try it on you. I'm like, fucking, why not? And then afterwards, I'm like, oh wow, it like you ever where the energy is just flowing in your body, and you're like, you feel good, and you're like, whoo, it just helps move your body. I don't know how your blood feels better. That's the best way I could describe it.
Interesting.
But like he'll give me herbs, like there's different I have like ADHD problems, so he gives me this he gave me some herbs sometimes, and it just helps with your focus. And it's one of those things that you take it for a few days and you notice like actual effects. If I had more money, I would spend a lot of money on herbs. Or they're expensive, but there's like very helpful herbs out there.
That's kind of, yeah, that's what I would think. I think that a lot of things that we deal with and that we've had in the past have already been cured, but there's more money in just not curing it.
And
You
there's
know what I
also
mean?
like we're surrounded by toxins and pollutants, so we're sicker.
True.
But there are better ways to heal it.
Is
But
that
it's
why
also
you think
diet.
people have less testosterone?
Diet and plastic.
Plastic makes your testosterone levels low. Why?
Microplastics. They get in it. Like if you notice, this is a hot theory, but everybody's confused about their gender. Gender is related to your hormones. Plastics change your hormones. We have plastic everywhere and everything. There's microplastics in the waters. There's SSRIs, traces of medicine in the water. It's affecting how we feel and changing how we act. So people are like, I don't feel like a boy or a girl. And it's like, yeah, your hormones are fucked. Of course you don't feel like a boy or a girl. Your hormones are fucked.
Well, why wouldn't? Well, I guess
It's saying that that's a good thing instead of it's a hard. I don't know.
Why wouldn't this happen to more people? Like, I know it's happening to a lot, but why not so much more? If all of us are exposed, why not like massive swaths of us?
Massive swaths of us are right now do have it, or we're depressed, or we're anxious, or we're sick. It's like sickness that appears in many different. I think plastics in the water is like lead in the paint, where all of a sudden people's IQs started lowering and people started acting insane. It's like, yeah, we have plastic in everything. And it's just oil. Plastic is made of oil, and then it gets in our blood. We all have plastic and glyphosate, which is like weed killer, in our blood right now. And it makes you feel bad. And that's what's taking our testosterone down. And also, we eat like shit in like processed foods. I'm a big processed foods guy.
Maybe it's me just because I eat pretty well. And I don't know, I only drink water. I feel fine. But then people say all these things and it makes me scared. And I'm like, oh man, maybe there's something wrong with me too. But I don't know, I feel fine. So I'm also thinking, is it my diet? Is it how I behave? Or is it other people are just eating way worse than me? Or like,
I think
seriously,
you
I'm
have
confused.
good genetics. And you don't have trauma. Most people, it's psychologically they don't feel good. It's like all over. It's like a mix of psychological, environmental, physical stress.
Man, a lot of people must have trauma then. Holy shit.
A lot of people have tons of trauma.
Damn.
Especially you're in the comedy community.
Yeah.
Most of the things that bring people to comedy is trauma.
Yeah.
You're one of the few you're like, I had a pretty good life. Everybody talk to them. Listen to what people have to say. They're like, yeah, I was fucking crazy.
No, the things I hear people say are always like, God damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it's not even funny. It's just like, fucking
sad.
hey,
It's
that's
really sad. Yeah. You haven't made that funny yet.
Yeah.
It's just sad, man. I'm sorry.
Sad.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know. Maybe it is. I'm just like so naive. I'm just a knave out here, like a fawn in the forest, and there's all these fucked up creatures around me.
Yeah, and you're like, why is everybody so fucked up?
I don't know. Maybe that's honestly, that could be it. Maybe I'm just completely ignorant, but I don't know. That's interesting, though, to think that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are really fucked up. Like, most people are pretty fucked up. Like, the average person is fucked up in some way.
Yeah.
They have some problem, whether it be a disease or a mental disorder or a physical thing.
Yeah. Fuck, dude.
You gotta go. You got a nice house. You got a beautiful dog, dude. This is awesome.
Stop.
Why do you not like that? You're living the dream.
No, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, you live in the dream, dude. This is an awesome setup.
Oh, stop. That's crazy.
Everybody else, I fucking
Oh my
I have PTSD, I got anxiety, I got depression. You're like, things are pretty good.
Things are pretty happy. Yeah.
That's amazing. You gotta see, that's why you podcast, to share that with the world. So it'll be like, hey, it doesn't have to, it can be okay.
Like, hey guys, everything's fine. Like, not for me. I actually thought it would be really funny to be a character called the Anti-Goggins. You know, David Goggins.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, you got to wake the fuck up. You got to get back to fucking work. Like a guy who's just like, nah, man, take the day off. You know, like just someone who's on the complete other side. Because Goggins scares the fuck out of me. Whenever I hear him talk, I'm like, this guy's crazy.
Well, he's running from demons.
Dude,
He deals with demons.
insane.
He deals with demons.
And people are like, how do I be more like you? And I'm like, no, you don't want to be like that.
No,
That
he
guy's-
doesn't want to be like him. Read his second book. His first book's like, crush it. And his second book is like, my
I'm
knees
sad.
don't work. No, everything hurts. Everything is pain.
Yeah, dude, that's terrible.
Yeah. But there's a balance. There's a balance. Everything is, you got to find the balance.
It's a balance. And I think what happened with him is over there is 600 pounds and disgusting. And way over there is David Goggins.
Yeah.
You got to be fucking here. You know what I mean?
I like to be a little fat. It's nice.
It's nice.
I like to eat some extra food and then work out hard. And
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's really not that bad. And that's what I think is interesting. Like, everyone's always like 600-pound life, you know, fat people on TV. People like watching that shit.
Yeah.
And then way over there, people like watching that shit too. But nobody ever idealizes just like, hey, dude, just maybe be cool. Like, just be in the middle. It's fine.
That's what most therapists do, though.
Like, idealize it or like...
No, they're trying to like be like, hey, it's okay.
Just be okay.
It's okay. They're like, it's fine. But he's like, that's some people deal with their problems by becoming maniacs and working out way too hard. But there's like some people push it hard and they live happy lives, and it's good for them to like run 10 miles a day. And that's like the right balance for them. But there's no perfect. Everybody's so fucking different. I think about that all the time. I used to think that there was like, especially with diet, that there was an answer.
Yeah.
That there was like a correct diet. And I'm like, there's no. Everybody's engine runs on different fuel. You have to find what works for you. Some people work really well on like maybe a vegetarian diet is perfect for some people. Maybe an all meat diet is perfect for other people. Everybody's got a different engine. Just figure out what the fuck works for you.
Yeah.
And then if you have friends who are like, hey, you seem like you have your diet down. What do you do? Then you share it. But too many people
But you
are
tweak
like,
it a little bit.
are
for
like,
yourself.
this is exactly how you do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think there's ever an answer. There's clearly wrong answers, like
For
eating
me-
shit, but
I feel like I'm trying to cut rice out right now. That's been my thing.
so I work with a bunch of people at a health company who are super particular about their diet. They crush rice, they crush meat and fruit, and that's basically it.
That's kind of my diet.
Yeah.
My diet is like apples, avocados. I do eat rice. I'm trying to get rid of it, but
Bump your meat up. Bump red meat.
well, I do buy meat. I buy steaks. I buy a lot of fish, like salmon. I eat a lot of salmon. A lot of eggs. Lots of
You got a
eggs.
healthy diet. Just do you eat anything with like the main bad thing in the food system right now is processed oils.
I use olive oil.
That's good. Yep. You're
Yeah.
good. But like when you go out to eat, there's most restaurants are starting to switch over. But the main culprit of bad diet and obesity in the U.S. is the oils. It's
the
not
oils.
sugar.
Interesting.
People blame sugar. Corn syrup is bad, but regular sugar, like the more research that comes out on it, isn't that bad.
Yeah, I try to. If I drink, the thing is that if I like even a soda, I get tired.
Yeah, because it's corn syrup.
Yeah, I'll drink a single soda and I'm like, I hate it.
I'll drink like there's Maine Root, which is an Austin company which uses organic cane sugar, and I'll drink that as a pre-workout sometimes.
Oh, interesting.
Because like sugar's good for if you're going to use it, it's good to have. So like I'll drink Maine Root and then I'll bike ride for 2 hours.
Fuck, dude.
Because then you're just full of sugar, and then you use all the sugar.
Main vein, the main root, my guy. Holy,
That's good. I
hell.
should do ads for them.
Yeah, you
Main
should.
vein, Maine Root.
Main vein. You could do it too, and you ride off real fast.
But then the second the like sugar runs out of your blood, you crash.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's why I don't like sweets. I don't really eat that many sweets because I crash hard, man.
I fuck like honey and maple syrup and fruit. I have a lot.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Maple
I just-
syrup is so good.
Smooth. I used to be like no sugar. I tried the keto thing for a while. It just doesn't work for me. But I like smoothies, fruits, fucking crush.
High fat does make me sleepy. Also, like I had some bacon recently, and I just get sleepy. I don't like that feeling of sleepiness. I want to feel awake.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I eat pretty good. I eat pretty good.
It's all balance.
Yeah, people always say bread is poison. Have you heard of that?
It's because we invented a new type of wheat in the United States.
Yeah.
And it's really hardy and it's hard to digest. But there's good wheats out there.
Oh yeah. Like I don't eat. That's probably my one thing is I buy white bread.
Yeah, that's got bad oils. Well, like from a bakery or like
No, just
sliced,
shitty
pre-sliced white bread.
sliced white bread.
Just buy bread from a bakery.
Yeah, maybe.
It's
I just
so
don't-
much better.
I hate fucking seeds in my shit.
You can get white bread from a bakery.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
There's awesome. We're in Austin. There's some of the best
Yeah,
bakeries
I
in the
should.
U.S. here. That's like
Dude.
really good bread.
Whenever there's seeds and grain,
You don't need that though.
like
Just get
brown
white.
bread. I'm like, this
No.
shit fucking sucks.
Get some good bread's good for you.
Yeah, I like bread.
Yeah, it's good for you.
I like bread. Sourdough.
Yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah, okay.
Just not pre-sliced fucking fake loaf ass shit.
Yeah, yeah. I could show you it. It's not. It's
Nah,
not
I
great.
already know it's bad. I already know.
I don't eat a lot of it. I'll do like eggs and potatoes, and then I'll use that as like
Go to
a.
a fucking. There's so many good bakeries around here.
I'll do it. They probably sell them at HEB at the bakery.
Yeah, I'm sure they have nice bread.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm trying to think what else. This is interesting talking to someone that knows about all this stuff.
I spend my life doing it now.
He said rice. I'm trying to bring in more sweet potato.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to do that instead of rice. Because
That's fine.
I heard rice just turns into sugar. And
which
it's
is
like,
good if you're going to use it.
Yeah, but I'm not.
But then just start exercising.
Yeah,
You're probably how much? Yeah, just exercise more.
I weigh
Your
like
diet's fine.
145.
How tall are you?
6'1".
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm thin.
Yeah, you're really thin. You got to start lifting weights.
Yeah.
It'll change your whole life. You'll feel, instead of feeling fine, you'll feel like, I feel really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It releases so many. One, it's like, imagine if gravity was less.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that's if you lift weights, gravity is less. You know how like you lift, if you've ever lifted weights, you like lift to 20 for a while, and then you're like, wow, this is light. Walking is light if you lift with your legs.
Yeah.
Because everything in the world becomes lighter.
I just don't want to buy a gym membership and then go to the place. Maybe I could get some shit here and do it here.
I hate it, but I go all the
I
time.
do calisthenics every now and then.
Just do it. Just fucking anything helps.
Yeah, I guess.
But it'll change your life. Everybody should like working out. I hate it, but then I love being done with it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And it's fun to be strong. Like it's fun to lift a weight and be like, I'm fucking strong as fuck right now.
That's cool. What are some desserts you think are the best?
There's a brand called Ice Cream for Bears that makes ice cream with grass-fed milk and honey.
Ooh,
so fucking good.
Ice cream for bears.
I'll work out and then I'll eat that.
Yeah, that's good.
Or anything like I was like anti dessert, but now I'm like that sugar's not that bad for you as long as you're working out. If you don't work out, then it just turns into
chips.
fat.
Chips are good.
There's like good brands that you can buy.
Man, I'm a sucker for fucking Cool Ranch Doritos, dude. I know those are terrible for me, but
There's a brand called Siete that makes a Cool Ranch fake Dorito. It's good for you, but it's healthy.
See, that would be good. That would be good. I don't buy chips though ever, or soda really at all. But that's fascinating.
Yeah,
fascinated by that.
Oh yeah.
Tight.
Yeah, I think we're at it. What do we do? 2 hours?
2 hours. You want to keep going? You feeling good?
I think we call it. I think 2 hours is good. We'll do it again.
Okay, we'll do it
again sometime.
We'll call it.
2 hours that's great.
This was good.
Yeah.
That felt like nothing.
Yeah.
We burned that shit.
I fucking podcast, dude.
Yeah, that was badass. That was badass. Yeah, all right, well.
Thank
peace.
you, everybody.